I'm your host, TessaTNT, and we are broadcasting a little Mile High Clubhouse tonight. I'm so grateful you could join us this evening. If you're listening to us live right now, to us on Spreaker.com under We Are Paradox Media. You can also listen to us live on KPNL Radio, which you can find at KPNL Radio at kpnl-db.com, as well as eTalk Radio, which you can find at etalk.tv/radio. If you'd like to watch as well as listen, you can tune into us on YouTube under Weird Products Media, as well as Facebook. This evening we are under Weird Products, as well as Four Corners Paranormal. Jay, how's it going? Okay, we're a little late today. We got crazy thunderstorm going on and had some power outage happening, but we made it. So we're going to do story time tonight, and I'm excited. We get to move on to this next by Douglas Adams, The Restaurant at the End of the Universe. Vern said like 47 or 48. What is that? He said that is the answer to or something like that. So that's something in the book. But yeah, I'm super excited to get into this. So not the first page, but one of the first pages, it says, "There's a theory which states that if ever anyone discovers exactly what the universe is for and why it is here, it will instantly disappear and be replaced by something even more bizarre and inexplicable. There is another which has already happened." Chapter 1. The story so far. Oops, I just hit something. Sure, everything is good to go. I thought I had everything up and running, and my keys, my StreamYard is alrighty. The story so far. In the beginning, the universe was created. This has a lot of people very angry and regarded as a bad move. Many races believe that it was by some sort of god, though the Jetravartid people of Folowed 6, I believe that the entire universe was in fact sneezed out of the nose of a being called the Great Green Arclesier. The Jetravartids, who live in perpetual fear of the time they call the coming of the Great Chief, were small blue creatures with more than 50 arms each, who are therefore unique in being the only race in history to have invented aerosol deodorant before the will. However, the Great Green Arclesier theory is not widely accepted outside of Folowed 6, and so, being the puzzling place it is, other explanations are constantly being sought. For instance, a race of hyper-intelligent, pan-dimensional beings once built themselves a gigantic supercomputer called Deep Thought. Calculate once and for all, the answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything. 7.5 million years. Deep Thought computed and calculated, and in the end announced that the answer was in fact 42. So, another, even bigger computer had to be built to find out what the actual answer was. And the computer, which was called the Earth, was so large that it was frequently mistaken for a planet, especially by the strange ape-like beings who roamed its surface, totally unaware that they were part of the gigantic computer program. And this is very odd because without the fairly simple and obvious piece of knowledge, nothing that ever happened on the Earth could possibly make a bit of sense. Sadly, however, just before the critical moment of readout, the Earth was unexpectedly demolished by the photons to make way so they could for a new hyperspace bypass. And so all hope of discovering a meaning for life was lost forever. Or so it would seem. Two of these strange ape-like creatures survived. Arthur Dent escaped at the very last moment because an old friend of his, Ford Pitt, suddenly turned out to be from a small planet somewhere in the vicinity of Betelgeuse. and not from Guildford, as he had hitherto claimed. And more to the point, he knew how to hitch rides on flying saucers. Trisha McMahon, or Trillian, had skipped the planet 6 months earlier with Zaphod Beeblebrox, the then president of the galaxy. 2 survivors. They are all that remains of the greatest experiment ever conducted to find the ultimate question and the ultimate answer of life, the universe, and everything. And less than 500,000 miles from where their starship is drifted lazily through the inky, a Vogon ship is moving slowly toward them. So just back over here to check volume of sound, but it's looking good. Chapter 2. Like all Vogon ships, it looked as if it had been not so much designed as the unpleasant yellow lumps and edifices which protruded from it at unsightly angles would have disfigured the looks of most ships. But in this case, it was impossible. Ugly spotted in the skies, but not viable witnesses. In fact, to see anything much uglier than a Vogon ship, you would have to go inside it, and at a Vogon. If you're wise, however, this is precisely what you will avoid doing, because the average Vogon will not think twice before doing something so pointlessly hideous to you that you will wish you had never been born. Or a clear-minded thinker that the Vogon had never been born. In fact, the average Vogon probably wouldn't even think once. They are simple-minded, thick-willed, slug-brained creatures. It is not really something that they are cut out for. Anatomical analysis of the Vogon reveals that its brain was originally a badly deformed, misplaced, and dyspeptic liver. The fairest thing you can ever say about them is that they know what they are, and what they like generally involves hurting people and getting very angry. One thing they don't like is leaving a job unfinished, particularly this Vogon, and particularly for various reasons. This job. This Vogon was Captain Rostenic Vogon Jeltz of the Galactic Hyperspace Planning Council, and it was who had the job of demolishing the so-called planet Earth. He heaved his momentarily vile body round in his ill-fitting, slimy seat and stared at the monitor screen on which the starship Heart of Gold was being systematically scanned. It mattered little to him that the Heart of Gold, with its infinite improbability drive, was the most beautiful and revolutionary ship ever built. His technology were close to him, and, had he had his way, burned and buried books as well. Mattered even less to him that Zaphod Beeblebrox was aboard. Zaphod Beeblebrox was now the ex-president of, and though every police force in the galaxy was currently pursuing both him and this ship he had stolen, the Vogon was not interested. Other fish Vogons are not above a little bribery and corruption, in the same way that the sea is not above clouds. And this was certainly true in this case. When he heard the words integrity or moral rectitude, he reached for his dictionary. And when he heard the stink of ready money quantities, he reached for the rule. In seeking so implacably and listening the destruction of the earth and all therein that lay, he was moving somewhat above and beyond the call of his professional duty. There was even some doubt as to whether the said bypass was actually going to be built, but the matter had been glossed over. He grunted a repellent of satisfaction. "Computer," he croaked, "get me my brain care special line." Within a few seconds, the face of Gag Halfront appeared on the screen, smiling the smile of a man who knew he was 10 light years away from the Vogon face he was looking at. Mixed up somewhere in his soul was a glint of irony, too. Though the Vogon persistently referred to him as my private brain cure specialist, there was not a lot of brain to take care of, and it was in fact Halfront who was employing the Vogon. He was paying him an awful lot of money to do some very dirty work. As one of the galaxy's most prominent and successful psychics, he and a consortium of his colleagues were quite prepared to spend an awful lot of money when it seemed that the entire future of psychiatry was at stake. Well, hello, my captain of Vogon, TessaTNT, and how are we feeling today? The Vogon captain told him that in the last few hours, he had wiped out nearly half his crew in a disciplinary exercise. Halfront's smile did not flicker for an instant. Well, he said, I think this is perfectly normal behavior for a Vogon, you know. The natural and healthy channeling of the aggressive instincts into acts of senseless violence. That, rumbled the Vogon, is what you always say. Well, again, said Halfront, this is perfectly normal behavior for a psychiatrist. Good. We're really both very well adjusted in our mental attitudes today. Now tell me, what news of the mission? We have located the ship. Wonderful, said Halfront. Wonderful. And the occupants? The Earthman is there. Excellent. And? A female from the same planet. They're the last. Good, good, beamed Halfront. Who else? The man prefect. Yes. And Zaphod Beeblebrox. For an instant, smile flickered. Ah, yes, he said. He had been expecting this. It was most regrettable. A personal friend, inquired the Vogon. Expression somewhere once and decided to try it out. Ah, no, said Halfront. In my profession, you know, we do not make personal friends. According to the Vogon. Professional detachment? No, said Halfront cheerfully. We just don't have the knack. He paused. His mouth seemed to smile, but his eyes frowned slightly. But Beeblebrox, you know, he said, he is one of my most profitable clients. Personality beyond the dress. With this thought, reluctantly dismissing it. But still, he said, for your task? Yes. Good. Destroy the ship immediately. What about Beeblebrox? Well, said Halfront brightly, Zaphod's just this guy, you know. From the screen, the Vogon captain pressed a communicator button and connected him with the remains of his crew. Attack, he said. Nice moment. Zaphod beamed in his cabin, swearing very loudly. 2 hours ago, he had said that they would go for a quick bite at the restaurant at the end of the universe. Whereupon he had had a blazing row with a shooter and stormed off to his cabin shouting that he would work out the improbability factors with a pencil. The Heart of Gold's probability drive, the most powerful and unable ship in the existence. There was nothing he knew exactly that the thing he wanted to do. He had stolen it when, as president, he was meant to be launching it. He didn't know exactly why he had stolen it, except that he liked it. He didn't know why he had become president of the galaxy, except that it seemed a fun thing to be. He did know that there were better reasons than these, but they were buried in a dark, locked-off section of his two brains. He wished the dark, locked-off section of his two brains would go away because they occasionally surfaced momentarily and put strange thoughts into the light, fun sections of his mind, and tried to deflect him from what he saw as being the basic business of his life, which was to have a wonderfully good time. At the moment, he was not having a wonderfully good time. He had run out of patience and pencils and was feeling very hungry. Starpox, he shouted. At that that same precise moment, Ford Prefect was in midair. This was not because of anything wrong with the ship's artificial gravity field, but because he was leaping down the stairwell which led to the ship's personal cabins. It was a very high jump to do in one bound, and he landed awkwardly, stumbled, recovered, and raced down the corridor, sending a couple of miniature service robots sliding. Flying, skidded around the corner, burst into Zaphod's door, and explained what was on his mind. Vogons, he said. Well, before this, Arthur Dent had set out from his cabin in search of a cup of tea. It was not a quest he embarked upon with a great deal of optimism, because he knew that the only source of hot drinks on the entire ship was a benighted piece of equipment produced by the Sirius Cybernetics Corporation. It was called a Nutramatic Drinks Synthesizer, and he had encountered it before. It claimed to produce the widest possible range of drinks personally matched to the taste of the metabolism of whoever cared to use it. When put to the test, however, it invariably produced a plastic cup filled with a liquid which was almost but not quite entirely unlike tea. Excuse me. He attempted to reason with the thing. Tea, he said. Share and enjoy, the machine replied, and provided him with yet another cup of liquid. He threw it away. Share and enjoy, the machine repeated, and produced another one. Share and enjoy is the company motto of the hugely successful Sirius Cybernetics Corporation Complaints Division, which now covers the major land masses of 3 planets and is the only part of the corporation to have shown a consistent profit in recent years. The motto stands, or rather stood, in 3 mile-high illuminated letters near the Complaints Department spaceport in Edrax. Unfortunately, its weight was such that shortly after it was erected, the ground beneath the letters caved in and they dropped for nearly half their length through the offices of many talented young complaints executives, now deceased. The protruding upper halves of the letters now appeared in the local language to read, "Go stick your head in a pig," and are no longer eliminated except at times of special celebration. Arthur threw away a 6th cup of liquid. "Listen, you machine," he said. "You claim you can synthesize any drink in existence, so why do you keep giving me the same undrinkable stuff? Nutrition and pleasurable sense data, the machine. Share and enjoy. It tastes filthy. If you have enjoyed the experience of this drink," continued the machine, "why not share it with your friends?" "Because," said Arthur tartly, "I want to keep them. Will you try to comprehend what I'm telling you? That drink," said Sweetly, "was individually tailored to meet your personal requirements for nutrition and pleasure." "Ah," said Arthur, "so I'm a masochist on a diet, am I? Share and enjoy." "Oh, shut up." "Will that be all?" Arthur decided to give up. "Yes," he said. Then he decided he'd be damned if he'd give up. "No," he said. "Look, it's very, very simple. All I want is a cup of tea. You're going to make one for me." I don't know why my camera keeps going off. And he sat. He told the Nutramatic about China. He told it about Ceylon. He told it about broadleaves drying in the sun. He told it about silver teapots. He told it about summer afternoons on the lawn. He told it about putting in the milk before the tea so it wouldn't get scalded. He even told it briefly about the history of the East India Company. "So that's it, is it?" said the Nutramatic when he had finished. "Yes," said Arthur. "That is what I want." "You want the taste of dried leaves boiled in water?" Yes, with milk." "Squirted out of a cow?" "Well, in a manner of speaking, I suppose." "I'm going to need some help with this one," said the machine tersely. All the cheerful burble had dropped out of its voice, and it now meant business. "Well, anything I can do," said Arthur. You've done quite enough, the Nutramatic informed him. It summoned up the ship's computer. Hi there, said the ship's computer. The Nutramatic explained about tea to the ship's computer. The computer boggled, linked logic circuits with the Nutramatic, and together they lapsed into a grim silence. Arthur watched and waited for a while, but nothing further happened. He thumped it, but still nothing happened. Eventually, he gave up and wandered up to the bridge in the empty waste of space. The heart of gold hung still. Around it blazed a million pinpricks of the galaxy. Towards it crept the ugly yellow lamp, the lump of the Vogon's ship. Chapter 3. Does anyone have a kettle? Arthur asked, as he had walked on the bridge, and instantly began to wonder why Trillian was yelling at the computer to talk to her. Ford was thumping it, and Zaphod was kicking it. And also, why there was a nasty yellow lump on the vision screen. He put down the empty cup he was carrying and walked over to them. Hello, he said. At that moment, Zaphod flung himself over to the polished marble surfaces that contained the instruments that controlled the conventional photon drive. They materialized beneath his hands, and he flipped over to the manual control. He pushed, he pulled, he pressed, and he swore. The photon drive gave a sickly shudder and cut out again. Something up, said Arthur. Hey, did you hear that? Muttered Zaphod, as he leaped now for the manual controls on the infinite improbability drive. The monkey spoke. The improbability drive, small lines, and then also cut out. Your history, man, said Zaphod, kicking the improbability drive. A talking monkey. If you're upset about something, said Arthur. Vogon, snapped Ford. We're under attack. Arthur gibbered. Well, what are you doing? Let's get out of here. Can't. Computer's jammed. Jammed? It says all its circuits are occupied. There's no power anywhere in the ship. Ford moved away from the computer terminal, wiped a sleeve across his forehead, and slumped back against the wall. Nothing we can do, he said. He glared at nothing and bit his lip. When Arthur had been a boy at school long before the Earth had been demolished, he had used to play football. He had not been at all good at it, and his particular specialty had been scoring goals in important matches. Whenever this happened, he used to experience a peculiar tingling around the back of his neck that would slowly creep up across his cheeks and heat his brow. The image of lots of little jeering boys flinging it at him suddenly came vividly to his mind at this moment. A peculiar tingling sensation at the back of his neck was creeping up across his cheeks and heating his brow. He started to speak and stopped. He started and stopped again. Finally, he managed to speak. He said, as he cleared his throat. Tell me, he continued nervously, that the other and stared at him. He glanced at the approaching yellow blob on the vision screen. He said again, "Did the computer say what was occupying it? I just asked out of it." Their eyes were riveted on him, and, well, that's it really, just asking. Zaphod put out a hand and held Arthur by the scruff of the neck. "What have you done to it, monkey man?" he breathed. "Well," said Arthur, "nothing in fact, it's just that a short while ago it was trying to work out how to..." "Yes?" "Make some tea." "That's right, guys," the computer sang out suddenly. "Just coping with that problem right now, and wow, it's a biggie. Be with you." It lapsed back into silence that was only matched for sheer intensity by the silence of the three people staring at Arthur Dent. As if to relive the tension, the Vogons chose that moment firing. The ship shook, the ship thundered. Outside the inch-thick force field around it blistered, crackled, and spat under the barrage 30 megahertz Deflezen cannon and looked as if it wouldn't be around for long. 4 minutes is how long Ford Prefect gave it. 3 minutes, and he said, a short while later. 45 seconds, he added, at the appropriate time. He flicked idly at some useless switches that gave Arthur an unfriendly look. Dying for, he said, 3 minutes and 40 seconds. Will you stop counting? Snarled Zaphod. Yes, said Ford Prefect, in 3 minutes and 35 seconds. Aboard the Vogon ship, Prostetnik Vogon Jeltz was puzzled. He had expected a chase. He had expected an exciting grapple for the tractor beams. He had expected to have to use the specialty installed subcyclic normality to counter the Heart of Gold's infinite improbability drive. But the subcyclic normality assertitron lay idle as the Heart of Gold just sat there and took it. A dozen 30 megahertz definite kill Frotrazon cannon continued to blaze away at the Heart of Gold, and still it just sat there and took it. He tested every sensor at his disposal to see if there was any subtle trickery afoot. But no subtle trickery was to be found. He didn't know about the tea, of course, nor did he know exactly how the occupants of the Heart of Gold were spending the last 3 minutes and 30 seconds of life that they had left to spend. Quite how Zaphod Beeblebrox arrived at a seance at this point is something he was never quite clear on. Obviously, the subject of death was in the air, but more something to be avoided than harped upon. Possibly the horror that Zaphod experienced at the prospect of being reunited relatives led on to the thought that they might just feel the same way about him, and what's more, be able to do something about helping to postpone his reunion. Or again, it might just have been one of the strange promptings that occasionally surfaced from that dark area of his mind that he had inexplicably locked off prior to becoming president of the galaxy. You want to talk to your great-grandfather? Buggled Ford. Yeah. Does it have to be now? The ship continued to shake and thunder. The temperature was rising. The light was getting dimmer. All the energy the computer didn't require for thinking about tea was being pumped into the rapidly fading force. It's really storming out there. Yeah, insisted Zaphon. Listen, Ford. I think he may be able to help us. Are you sure you mean think? Pick your words with care. Suggest something else we can do. Well... Okay, round the central console. Now come on, Trillion, Monkey Man, move. They clustered round the central console in confusion, sat down, and feeling exceptionally foolish, held hands. With his third hand, Zaphod turned off the lights. Darkness gripped the ship. Outside, the thunderous roar of the definite kill cannon continued to rip at the force field. Concentrate, Zaphod. On his name. What is it? Asked Arthur. Zaphod Beeblebrox the Fourth. What? Zaphod Beeblebrox the Fourth. Concentrate. The Fourth? Yeah, listen, I'm Zaphod Beeblebrox. My father was Zaphod Beeblebrox II. My grandfather, Zaphod Beeblebrox III. What? There was an accident with a contraceptive and time machine. Now concentrate. 3 minutes, said Ford Prefect. Why, said Arthur Dent, are we doing this? Shut up, suggested Zaphod Beeblebrox. Trillion said nothing. What she thought was there to say. The only light on the bridge came from two dim triangles in a far corner where Marvin, the paranoid android, sat slumped, ignoring all and ignored by all, in a private and rather unpleasant world of his own. Yes? What'd you do? I'm reading a story. Hey, Michelle, what are you doing? Besides,
I was trying to play World of Tanks, but it ends as soon as your show ends.
what?
New game mode. A new game mode ends as soon as your show ends.
Oh,
I can't play it.
is it not working?
It ends as soon as your show ends. Here's this flag on computer.
Ah, I'm sorry, boy. So sad. Get out of here with your sad little dimple chin. Hey, what's up, UFO Bigfoot? Good to see ya. Floyd wants to play World of Tanks, but he said my doing the show is causing a lag. Man, it is storming. I don't know if you guys can hear all that thunder and lightning. It's crazy. All right. Around the central console, 4 figures hunched in tight concentration, trying to blot from their minds the terrifying shuddering of the ship and the fearful roar that echoed through it. They concentrated. Still, they concentrated. And still, they concentrated. The seconds ticked by. On Zaphod's brows stood beads of sweat. First of then of frustration, and finally of embarrassment. At last he let out a cry of anger, snatched back his hands from chin and forward, and stabbed at the light switch. "Ah, I was beginning to think you'd turned the lights on," said a voice. "No, not too bright, please. My eyes aren't what they were once." 4 figures jolted upright in their seats. Slowly, they turned their heads to look, though their scalps showed a distinct propensity to try and stay in the same place. "Now, who disturbs me at this time?" said the small, bent, gaunt figure, standing by the sprays of fern at the far end of the bridge. His 2 small, wispy-haired heads looked so ancient that it seemed they might hold dim memories of the birth of the galaxies themselves. He lulled in sleep. The other squinted sharply at them. If his eyes weren't what they once were, they must once have been diamond cutters. Zaphod stuttered nervously for a moment. He gave the intricate little double nod, which was the traditional Beetlejuicean gesture of familial respect. "Oh, hi, great-granddad," he breathed. The little old figure moved closer toward them. He peered through the dim light. He thrust out a bony finger at his great-grandson. "Ah," he snapped, "Zaphod Beeblebrox, the last of our great line. Zaphod Beeblebrox, the Nothingth." "The first, the Nothingth," spat the figure. Zaphod hated his voice. It always seemed to him to screech like fingernails across the blackboard of what he liked to think of as a symbol. Wow. He shifted awkwardly in his seat. Yeah, he muttered. Look, I'm really sorry about the flowers. I meant to send them along, but the shop was fresh out of its end. You forgot," snapped Zaphod Beeblebrox the fourth. "Well, too busy. Never think of other people. The living are all the same." 2 minutes, Zaphod whispered Ford in an odd whisper. Zaphod fidgeted nervously. "Yeah, but I didn't mean to send them," he said. "And I'll write to my great-grandmother as well, just as soon as we get out of this." "Your great-grandmother?" mused the gaunt little figure to himself. "Yeah," said Zaphod. How is she? Tell you what, I'll go and see her. But first, we've just got to..." "You're late, great-grandmother, and I are very well," rasped Zaphod Beeblebrox the fourth. Oh, but very disappointed in you, young Zaphod." Yeah, well, Zaphod felt strangely powerless to take charge of this conversation. And Ford's heavy breathing at his side told him that the seconds were ticking away fast. The noise and the shaking had reached terrifying proportions. He saw Trillian's and Arthur's faces, white and unblinking in the gloom. Great-grandfather? We've been following your progress with considerable despondency. Yeah, look, just at that moment, you see, not to say content, could you sort of listen? I mean, what exactly are you doing with your life? I'm being attacked by a Vogon fleet, cried Zaphod. It was an exaggeration, but it was his only opportunity so far of getting the basic point of the exercise across. Doesn't surprise me in the least, said the little old figure with a shrug. Only it's happening right now, you see, insisted Zaphod feverishly. The spectre nodded, picked up the cup Arthur Dent had brought in, and looked at it with interest. Great-granddad? Did you know, interrupted the ghostly figure, fixing Zaphod with a stern look, that Betelgeuse 5 has now developed a very slight eccentricity in its orbit? Zaphod didn't, and found the information hard to concentrate on, what with all the noise and the imminence of death and so on. No, look, he said. My spinning in my grey ancestor. He slammed the cup down and pointed a quivering, stick-like, see-through finger at Zaphod. Your fault, he screeched. 1:30, muttered Ford, his head in his hands. Yeah, look, Great-Granddad, can you actually help? Because help, exclaimed the old man, as he'd been asked for a... Yeah, help, and now, because otherwise... Help? Repeated the old man, as if he'd been asked for a lightly grilled weasel in a bun with french fries. He stood amazed. You go swinging your way round the galaxy with your, the ancestor waved a contemptuous hand, with your disreputable friends, too busy to put flowers on my grave. Plastic ones would have done. Would have been quite appropriate for you, but no, too busy, too modern, too skeptical, till you suddenly find yourself in a bit of a fix, and come over suddenly, all astrally minded. He shook his head carefully, so as not to disturb the slumber of the other one, which was already becoming restive. Well, I thought, he continued, I think I'll have to think about this one. 1:10, said Ford hollowly. Zaphod Beeblebrox IV peered at him curiously. Why does that man keep talking in numbers? He said. Those numbers, said Zaphod tersely, are the time we've got left to live. Oh, said his great-grandfather. He grunted to himself. It doesn't apply to me, of course, he said, and off to a dimmer recess of the bridge, in search of something else to poke around at. Zaphod felt he was teetering on the edge of madness and wondered if he shouldn't just jump over and have done with it. Great-grandfather, he said, it applies to us. We are still alive, and we are about to lose our life. Good job, too. What? What use is your life to anyone? When I think of what you've made of it, the phrase pig's ear comes irresistibly to mind. But I was president of the galaxy, man. Huh, muttered his ancestor. And what kind of job is that for a Beeblebrox? Hey, what? President, of the whole galaxy? Conceited little mega puppy. Zaphod blinked in bewilderment. Hey, what are you at, man? I mean, great-grandfather. The hunched-up little figure stalked up to his great-grandson and tapped him sternly on the knee. This had the effect of reminding Zaphod that he was talking to a ghost because he didn't feel a thing. I know what being president means, young Zaphod. Because you've been it, and I know because I'm dead, and it gives one such a wonderfully uncluttered perspective. We have a saying up here, life is wasted on the living. Yes, said Zaphod bitterly. Very good, very deep. Right now, I need aphorisms like I need holes in my heads. 50 seconds, grunted Ford Prefect. Where was I? Said Zaphod Beeblebrox IV. Pontificating, said Zaphod Beeblebrox. Oh, yes. Can this guy, muttered Ford quietly to Zaphod, actually in fact help us? Nobody else can, whispered Zaphod. Ford Ford nodded despondently. Zaphod, the ghost was saying. He became president of the galaxy for a reason. Have you forgotten? Could we go into this later? Have you forgotten? Insisted the ghost. Yeah, of course I forgot. I had to forget. They screen your brain when you get the job, you know. They found my head full of tricksy ideas. I'd have been right out in the streets again with nothing but a fat pension, secretarial staff, a fleet of ships, and a couple of slit throats. Ah, nodded the ghost in satisfaction. Then you do remember. He paused for a moment. Good, he said, and the noise stopped. 48 seconds, said Ford. He looked again at his watch and tapped it. He looked up. Hey, the noise has stopped, he said. A mischievous twinkle gleamed in the ghost's squint, hard little eyes. I've slowed down time for a moment, he said. Just for a moment, you understand. I would hate you to miss all I have to say. Now you listen to me, you see-through old bat, said Zaphod, leaping out of his chair. Thanks for stopping time and all that. Great, terrific, and wonderful, but no thanks for the homily, right? I don't know what this great thing I'm meant to do or be doing is, and it looks to me as if I was supposed to not know, and I resent that, right? The old me knew, the old me cared. Fine, so far so good, except that the old me cared so much that he actually got inside his own brain. My own brain, and locked off the bits that knew and cared, because if I knew and cared, I wouldn't be able to do it. I wouldn't be able to go and be president, and I'd steal this ship, which must be the important thing. But this former self of mine killed himself off, didn't he, by changing my brain? Okay, that was his choice. This new me has its own choices to make. And by a strange coincidence, those choices involve not knowing and not caring about this big number, whatever it is. That's what he wanted. That's what he got. Where did it go? Except this old self of mine tried to leave himself in control, leaving orders for me and the bit of my brain he locked off. Well, I don't want to know and I don't want to hear them. That's my choice. I'm not going to be anybody's puppet, particularly not my own. Zaphod banged on the console in fury, oblivious of the dumbfounded looks he was attracting. The old me is dead, he raved. Killed himself. The dead shouldn't hang about trying to interfere with the living. And yet you summoned me up to help you out of a scrape, said the ghost. Ah, said Zaphod, sitting down again. Well, that's different, isn't it? He grinned at Trillian weakly. Zaphod? Rasped the apparition. I think the only reason I waste my breath on you is that being dead, I don't have any other use for it. Okay, said Zaphod. Why don't you tell me what the big secret is? Try me. Zaphod, you knew when you were president of the galaxy, as did Uden Vranks before you. And the president is nothing, a cipher. Somewhere in the shadows behind is another man, being something with ultimate power. That man or being or something you must find. The man who controls this galaxy and, we suspect, others, possibly the entire universe. Why? Why? Exclaimed an astonished ghost. Why? Look around you, lad. Does it look to you as if it's in everyone's very good hands? It's all right. The old ghost glowered at him. I will not argue with you. You will simply take this ship, this improbability drive ship, to where it is needed. You will do it. Don't think you can escape your purpose. The improbability field controls you. You are in its grip. What's this? He was standing, tapping at one of the terminals of Eddie, the shipboard computer. Zaphod told him. What's it doing? It is trying, said Zaphod with wonderful restraint, to make tea. Good, said his great-grandfather. I approve of that. Now, Zaphod, he said, turning and wagging a finger at him. I don't know if you are really capable of the job. I think you will not be able to avoid it. However, I am too long dead and too tired to care as much as I did. The principal reason I am helping you now is that I couldn't bear the thought of you and your modern friends slouching about up here, understood? Yeah, thanks a bundle. Oh, and Zaphod, yeah. If you ever find you need help again, trouble, need a hand out of a tight corner, yeah, please don't hesitate to get lost. Within the space of 1 second, a bolt of light flashed from the wizened old ghost's hand to the computer. The ghost vanished. The bridge filled with billowing smoke, and the heart of gold leaped an unknown distance through the dimensions of time and space. Well, we're at chapter 4. Oh my goodness. Where's my bookmark? I got one not here. So on that note, boys and girls, we're going to go to our first music break. On this break, we have Good from Los Angeles, California. He's going to be singing Finger Bang Your Day, Consensual Sex Van, Silicone Wave, Multitude, and Cockpit Hills. You guys don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this music break.
When your life is a never-ending train wreck, and you feel like you're drowning in a sea of regret, with a bit of oppression pressing down on your neck, it hurts so bad. When your overwhelming hatred kills your heart's desire, and reality starts looking like a dumpster fire, you start bitching to me, but you're preaching to the choir. You don't need no man. 'Cause sometimes we hurt, sometimes we cry, sometimes we're sure there's no reason to try. When the whole world goes completely insane, open your heart, stand up and sing. I'm gonna finger bang my day. Yeah, yeah, I'll finger bang my day. That's right. You gotta make the choice to give it all I've got, and make your day long with pleasure, really make it hot. Because your day deserves a lover that pulls out the stops. Come on, it's not so hard. 'Cause sometimes we hurt, sometimes we cry, sometimes we're sure there's no reason to try. When the whole world blows up in our face, what else could we do but stand up and sing? I'm gonna finger bang my day. Yeah, yeah, finger bang my day. Hey, what are we really doing? We can't live in a world that has this much hate. We have to get honest with ourselves. We have to take stock in what our part is in all of this madness. We have to let go, and we focus on giving love, setting that intention. And each and every single one of us gets up every day with the intention to give love. And we do it. We go out there and we give love every single day. Each one of us gets out there and makes love to our day, giving our day a multiple orgasm. The whole world will be orgasmic for the rest of eternity. Sometimes we hurt, sometimes we cry, sometimes we're sure there's no reason to try. When the whole world is fucking insane, we open our hearts, stand up and sing. I'm gonna finger bang my day. go. Just get in the van.
I just got a package, I can't wait to get home. I spent all day tracking the shipment of my iPhone, all that's lacking. I ordered custom, I can't wait to get some. Take it to the bedroom, bitches always nagging. Now I got the air, I send the bitches packing. Going my way, I have a new attraction. Don't care what you say, it's better in every way. Now baby, it's time to play. We're gonna make us a tape and show everyone the way. Cause I'm going my own way, riding up the Silicon Way. The whole scene on the game with my new real dog, I'm gonna play. Just second brain to my Silicon Way. She is here to stay. She's my new real dog, and it's time to play. She don't need expensive date nights, never talks back, I'm away. Stuff it in her face with all my might. She don't even care, we don't ever fight. She never cries when I'm testing the suspension. We blow it up like it's fucking Armageddon. We make the videos because this is perfection. Look at this erection, I don't need protection. Cause I'm going my own way, riding up the Silicon Way. The whole scene on the game. We're done, I'm gonna play. Just second brain to my Silicon Way. She is here to stay. She's my new real dog, and it's time to play. With my new real dog, I'm gonna play. She's my new real dog, and it's time to play.
The woman of my dreams.
Voulez-vous coucher avec moi?
Fais-moi l'amour.
Je suis amoureux.
Je pense toujours à
Enchanté,
tous les champs,
ma chérie. Mon
Tous les
frère
champs.
dans une hostie. Ils étaient
tous les champs. Fais-moi l'amour.
It's like living on a super yacht, making love to a robot. It's like owning a football team, but having sex with a robot. It's like winning an Oscar and Emmy or Grammy when you're fucking a robot. It's like saving a family with a newborn from a fire, but you're fucking a robot. I'm going my own way,
You're a fool with nothing to offer. No one will ever believe you. They see you for what you are. You're just a fraud, a shell of a person. And now the marvelous spirit of penetrate the demon that has you. Let us you into the depths of the hate. I am the Donovan.
I got all the moves, got that multitude. You think it's wrong? Back of the head too long. Fuck that. Check these molar moves. You need a multitude. I can do no wrong. Back of the head long, never gonna cut it.
All these hookers sweet on me. Look at them chasing me, showing me that ass. Hang up the snatch. I do this shit for free. Go down your mom till 3. She's taking selfie the mullet like it's history. How can I maneuver you with that pussy, dude? You sit like Buddha waiting on it to come to you. My lines are straight to the point. She shows me gratitude. So what's your latitude? Let's suggest your attitude. Hey, what up, alligator, double dually Lamborghini. All up in a silly little yellow bugger top bikini.
I got molar moves, I got that multitude. You think it's wrong? Back of the head too long. Fuck that.
Hey, what up, alligator, double dually Lamborghini. All up in a silly little yellow bugger top bikini.
Check these molar moves. You need a multitude. I can do no wrong. Cut it.
What up, alligator, double dually Lamborghini. All up in a silly little yellow polka dot bikini. You're like the butt of a butter knife cutting up panini. So climb back in your kangaroo pouch like a rolling genie. These moves are hot, these locks I got. This power cannot be disputed and it can't be bought. So you can find me in the studio with all these thoughts. You wanna buy my style, but you can't be what you're not, neighbor.
I got molar moves, I got that multitude. Back of the head too long, fuck that. Check these molar moves, you need a multitude. I can do no wrong, back of the head long, never gonna cut it. Got that motherfucking ballin'. You wanna touch it?
Yeah. Next time you come around here with your bitch ass, just remember how my mullet makes your hoes pussy drip, drip, drip.
I got molar moves, I got that multitude. You think it's wrong? Back of the head too long, fuck that. Check these molar moves, you need a multitude. I can get no wrong, never gonna cut it. I got molar moves, I got that multitude. You think it's wrong? Back of the head too long, fuck that. Check these molar moves, you need a multitude. I can do no wrong, never gonna cut it. Never gonna cut it. Never gonna cut it.
Drip, drip,
Molar moves.
Just a molar, bitch.
Never gonna cut it.
Welcome back, and thanks so much for joining me tonight on We Are Paradox Media's Late Night in the Rockies. This evening, we are reading Douglas Adams' The Restaurant at the End of the Universe. It's been pretty good so far. Let's get back into it. I'll try to turn this thing. It'll work, I suppose. Chapter 4. Ten letters away, Gag Halfront jacked up his style by several notches as he watched the picture on his vision screen. Relayed across the sub-ether from the bridge of the Vogon ship, he saw the final shreds of the Heart of Gold's force shield ripped away, and the ship itself vanish in a puff of smoke. Good, he thought. The end of the last stray survivors of the demolition he had ordered on the planet Earth, he thought. The final end of the dangerous to be a psychiatric profession and subversive to the psychiatric profession experiment to find the question to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything, he thought. There would be some celebration with his fellows tonight, and in the morning they would meet again, their unhappy, bewildered, and highly profitable patients secure in the knowledge that the meaning of life would not now be, once and for all, well and truly sorted out, he thought. Family is always embarrassing, isn't it? Said Ford Zaphod as the smoke began to clear. He paused. He looked about. Where's Zaphod? He said. Arthur and Trillian looked about blankly. They were pale and shaken and didn't know where Zaphod was. Marvin, said Ford. Where's Zaphod? A moment later he said, Where's Marvin? The robot's corner was empty. The ship was utterly silent. It lay in thick black space. Occasionally, it rocked and swayed. Every instrument was dead. Every vision screen was dead. They consulted the computer, and it said, I regret I have been temporarily closed to all communication. Meanwhile, here is some light music. They turned off the light music. They searched every corner of the ship in increasing bewilderment and alarm. Everywhere was dead and silent. Nowhere was there any trace of Zaphod or Marvin. One of the last areas they checked was the small bay in which the Nutrimatic machine was located. On the delivery plate of the Nutrimatic drink synthesizer was a small tray on which sat 3 bone china cups and saucers, a bone china jug of milk, a silver teapot full of the best tea Arthur had ever tasted, and a small printed note saying, Wait. Chapter 5. Ursa Minor Beta is, some say, one of the most appalling places in the known universe. Although it is excruciatingly rich, horrifyingly sunny, and more full of wonderfully exciting people than the pomegranate is of pips, it can hardly be insignificant that when a recent edition of Playbeam magazine headlined an article with the words, When you are tired of Ursa Minor Beta, you are tired of life. The suicide rate there quadrupled overnight. Not that there were any nights on Ursa Minor Beta. It is a West Zone planet, which by an inexplicable and somewhat suspicious freak of topography, consists mostly entirely of subtropical coastline. By an equally suspicious freak of temporal relostatics, it is nearly always Sunday afternoon just before the beach bars close. No adequate explanation for this has been furthermore forthcoming from the dominant life forms on Ursa Minor Beta, who spend most of their time attempting to achieve spiritual enlightenment by running around swimming pools and inviting investigation officials from the Galactic Geotemporal Control Board to have a nice diurnal anomaly. There is only one city in Ursa Minor Beta, and that is a city because the swimming pools are slightly thicker on the ground there than elsewhere. We approach Light City by air, and there's no other way of approaching it. No roads, no port facilities. If you don't fly, they don't want to see you in the Light City. You will see why it has this name. Here the sun shines brightest of all, glittering on the swimming pools, shimmering on the healthy bronze, shimmering on the white, palm-lined boulevards, glistening on the healthy bronze specks moving up and down them, gleaming off the villas and hazy air pads, the beach bars, and so on. Most particularly, it shines on a building, a tall, beautiful building consisting of 2 30-story white towers connected by a bridge halfway up their length. The building is the home of a book and was built here on the proceeds of an extraordinary copyright lawsuit fought between the book's editors and the Breakfast Cereal Company. The book is a guidebook, a travel book. It is one of the most remarkable, certainly the most successful books ever to come out of the great publishing corporations of Ursa Minor. More popular than Life Begins at 550. Better selling than The Big Bang Theory, a personal view by Eccentrica Galambitz, the triple-breasted whore of Eroticon 6. And more controversial than Ulan Kulafid's latest blockbuster title, Everything You Never Wanted to Know About Sex But Have Been Forced to Find Out. Interesting. And in many of the more relaxed civilizations on the outer eastern rim of the galaxy, it has long supplanted the great Encyclopedia Galactica as the standard repository of all knowledge and wisdom for thought. It has many omissions and contains much that apocryphal, or at least wildly inaccurate. It scores over the older, more pedestrian in two important respects. First, and secondly, has the words "Don't Panic" printed on in large, friendly letters on its cover. It is, of course, that invaluable companion for all those who want to see the marvels of the known universe. For less than 30 Altarian dollars a day, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. If you stood with your back to the main entrance lobby of the guide offices, assuming you had landed by now, and freshened up with a quick dip and shower, and then walked east, you would pass along the leafy shade of Life Boulevard. Be amazed by the pale golden color of the beaches stretching away to your left, astounded by the mind surfers floating carelessly along 2 feet above the waves as if this was nothing special. Surprised and eventually slightly irritated by the giant palm trees that hung two nothings throughout the daylight hours, in other words, continuously. If you then at the end of Life Boulevard, you would enter the Lalaman.
Wow,
Yeah.
where did Lily get one of those Japanese soda ones?
Went to Walmart.
Did I get one?
No, I got it for her the other day. She was gonna drink it, but then didn't. Would you quit looking so sad, boy?
I don't get it. Why?
Well, I'll get you one tomorrow when I go to town, okay? I'm sorry. Good lord. He's upset because he can't play World of Tanks, and then he's back because Lily got a drink. She went with me the other day. Anywho's, poor guy. Alright. Lalamatine district of shops, bull and nut trees, and pavement cafes where the Batons come to relax after a hard afternoon's relaxation on the beach. The Lalamatine district is one of those very few areas which doesn't enjoy a perpetual Saturday afternoon. It enjoys instead the cool of a perpetual early Saturday evening. Behind it lie the nightclubs. On this particular day afternoon, meantime, call it what you will, you had approached the second pavement cafe on the right. You had seen the usual crowd of Batons chatting, drinking, looking very relaxed, and casually glancing at each other's watches to see how expensive they were. You would also have seen a couple of rather disheveled-looking hitchhikers from Algol, who had recently arrived on an Arcturian mega freighter, aboard which they had been roughing it for a few days. They were angry and bewildered to discover that here, within sight of the Hitchhiker's Guide building itself, a simple glass of fruit juice costs the equivalent of over 60 Altarian dollars. Sell out, one of them said bitterly. If at that moment you had been looked at, at the table, you would have seen Zaphod Beeblebrook sitting and looking very startled and confused. The reason for his confusion was that 5 seconds earlier he had been sitting on the bridge of a starship, Heart of Gold. Absolute sellout, said the voice again. Zaphod looked nervously out of the corner eyes at the two disheveled hitchhikers at the next table. Where the hell was he? How had he got there? Where was his ship? His hand felt the arm of the chair on which he was sitting, and then the table in front of him. They seemed solid enough. He sat very still. How can they sit and write a guide for hitchhikers in a place like this? Continued the voice. I mean, look at it. Look at it. Zaphod was looking at it. Nice place, he thought, but where and why? He fished in his pocket for his 2 pairs of sunglasses. In the same pocket he felt a hard, smooth, unidentified lump of very heavy metal. He pulled it out and looked at it. He blinked at it in surprise. Where had he gotten that? He returned it to his pocket and put on the glasses, annoyed that the metal object had scratched out one of the lenses. Nevertheless, he felt much more comfortable with them on. They were a double pair of Junta to chromatic peril sensitives, which had been specially designed to help people develop a relaxed attitude to danger. At the first hint of trouble, they turn totally black and thus prevent you from seeing anything that might alarm you. Apart from the scratch, the lenses were clear. He relaxed, but only a little bit. The angry hitchhiker continued to glare at his monstrously expensive fruit juice. Worst thing that ever happened to the guide, moving to Ursa Minor Beta, he grumbled. They've all gone soft, you know. I've even heard that they've created a whole electronically synthesized universe in one of their offices so they can go and research stories during the day and still go to parties in the evening. Not that day and evening mean much in this place. Ursa Minor Beta, thought Zaphod. At least he knew where he was now. He assumed that this must be his great-grandfather's doing, but why? To his annoyance, a thought popped into his mind. It was very clear and very distinct, and he had now come to recognize these thoughts for what they were. His instinct was to resist them. They were the preordained promptings from the dark and locked off parts of his mind. He sat still and ignored the thought furiously. It nagged at him. He ignored it. It nagged at him. He ignored it. It nagged at him. He gave into it. What the hell, he thought. Go with the flow. He was too tired to resist. He didn't even know what the thought meant. Chapter 6. Hello? Yes? Megadodo Publications, home of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the most totally remarkable book in the whole of the known universe. Okay, sorry, the group is trying to call. Can I help you? Said the large, pink-winged insect into one of the 70 phones lined up along the vast chrome expanse of the reception desk in the foyer of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy offices. It fluttered its wings and rolled its eyes. It glared at all the grubby people cluttering up the foyer, soiling the carpets and leaving dirty hand marks on the upholstery. It adored working for the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It just wished that there was... Good Lord. Decline. Some way of keeping all the hitchhikers away. Weren't they meant to be hanging around dirty spaceports or something? It was certain that it had read something somewhere in the book about the importance of hanging around dirty spaceports. Unfortunately, most of them seemed to come and hang a nice, clean, shiny foyer immediately after hanging around in extremely dirty spaceports. And all they ever did was complain. It shivered its wings. What? It said into the phone. Yes, I passed on your message to Mr. Zarnerwoop, but I'm afraid he's too cool to see you right now. He's on an intergalactic cruise. It waved a petulant tentacle at one of the grubby people who was angrily trying to engage its attention. The petulant tentacle directed the angry person to look at the notice on the wall to its left and not to interrupt an important phone call. Yes, said the insect. He is in his office, but he's on an intergalactic cruise. Thank you so much for calling. It slammed down the phone. Read the notice, it said to the angry man who was trying to complain about one of the ludicrous and dangerous pieces of misinformation contained in the book. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is a companion to all those who are keen to make sense of life in an infinitely complex and confusing universe, for though it cannot hope to be useful or informative on all matters, it does at least make the reassuring claim that where it is inaccurate, it is at least definitively inaccurate. In cases of major discrepancy, it's always reality that's got it wrong. This was the gist of the notice. It said, the guide is definitive. Reality is frequently inaccurate. This had led to some interesting consequences. For instance, when the editors of the guide were sued by the families of those who had died as a result of taking the entry to the planet, literally it said, ravenous bug bladder beasts often make a Taurus. Instead of ravenous beasts often make a very good meal of visiting Taurus. They claimed that the first version of the sentence was the more aesthetically pleasing, summoned a qualified poet to testify under oath that beauty was truth beauty, and hoped thereby to prove that the guilty party in this case was life itself, for failing to be either beautiful or true. The judges concurred, and in a moving speech held that life itself was in contempt of court, and duly confiscated it from all those there present before going off to enjoy a pleasant evening's ultra golf. Zaphod Beeblebrox entered the foyer. He strode up to the insect receptionist. Okay, he said, where's Zarnywhoop? Get me Zarnywhoop. Excuse me, sir, said the insect icily. It did not care to be addressed in this manner. Zarnywhoop, get him, right? Get him now. Well, sir, snapped the fragile little creature, if you could be a little cool about it. Look, said Zaphod, I'm up here with cool, okay? I am so amazingly cool, you could keep a side of meat in me for a month. I am so hip, I have difficulty seeing over my pelvis. Now, will you move before I blow it? Well, if you'd let me explain, sir, said the insect, tapping the most petulant of all the tentacles at its disposal. I'm afraid that isn't possible right now, as Mr. Zarnywhoop is on an intergalactic cruise. Oh, thought Zaphod. When's he going to be back, he said. Back, sir? He's in his office. Zaphod paused while he tried to sort this particular thought out in his mind. He didn't succeed. This cat's on an intergalactic cruise? In his office? He leaned forward and gripped the tapping tentacle. Listen, Three Eyes, he said. Don't you try to out-weird me. I get stranger things than you free with my breakfast cereal. Well, just who do you think you are, honey? Flounced the insect, quivering its wings in rage. Zaphod Beeblebrox or something? Count the head, said Zaphod, in a low rasp. The insect blinked at him. It blinked at him again. You are Zaphod Beeblebrox? It squeaked. Yeah, said Zaphod, but don't shout it out or they'll all want one. The Zaphod Beeblebrox? No, just a Zaphod Beeblebrox. Didn't you hear? I come in 6 packs. The insect rattled its tentacles together in agitation. But sir, it squealed, I just sub ether radio report. It said that you were dead. Yeah, that's right, said Zaphod. I just haven't stopped moving yet. Now, where's Zarnywhoop? Well, sir, his office is on the 15th floor, but he's on an intergalactic cruise. Yeah. How do I get to him? The newly installed Synetics Corporation Happy Vertical People Transporters are in the far corner, sir, but, sir, Zaphod was turning to go. He turned back. Yeah, he said. Can I ask you why you want to see Mr. Zarnywhoop? Yeah, said Zaphod. He was unclear on this point himself. I told myself I had to. Come again, sir? Zaphod leaned forward, conspiratorially. I just materialized out of thin air in one of your cafes, he said, as a result of an argument with the ghost of my great-grandfather. No sooner had I got there than my former self, the one that operated on my brain, popped into my head and said, Go see Zarnywhoop. I've never heard of that cat. That is all I know. That and the fact that I've got to find the man who rules the universe. He winked. Mr. Beeblebrook, sir, said the insect in odd wonder. You're so weird, you should be in movies. Yeah, said Zaphod, patting the thing on a glittering pink wing. And you, baby, should be in real life. The insect paused for a moment to recover from its agitation, and then reached out a tentacle to answer a ringing phone. A metal hand restrained it. Excuse me, said the owner of the metal hand in a voice that would have made an insect of a more sentimental disposition collapse in tears. This was not such an insect, and it couldn't stand robots. Yes, sir, it snapped. Can I help you? I doubt it, said Marvin. Well, in that case, if you'll just excuse me. 6 of the phones were now ringing. A million things awaited the insect's attention. No one can help me? Intoned Marvin. Yes, sir, well, not that anyone's tried, of course. The restraining metal hand fell limply by Marvin. His head hung forward very slightly. Is that so? The insect said tartly. Hardly worth anyone's while I help a menial robot, is it? I'm sorry, sir, where's the percentage in being kind or helpful to a robot if it doesn't have any gratitude circuits? And you don't have any, said the insect, who didn't seem to be able to drag itself out of this conversation. I've never had occasion to find out, Marvin informed it. Listen, you miserable heap of maladjacent metal. Aren't what I want. The insect paused. Its long, thin tongue darted out and licked its eyes and darted back again. Is it worth it? It asked. Is anything, said Marvin immediately. What do you want? I'm looking for someone. Who? Hissed the insect. Zaphod Beeblebrook, said Marvin. He's over there. The insect shook with rage. Then why did you ask me? It screamed. I just wanted something to talk to, said Marvin. What? Pathetic, isn't it? With a grinding of gears, Marvin turned and trundled off. He caught up with Zaphod approaching the elevators. Zaphod spun around in astonishment. Hey, Marvin, he said. Marvin, how did you get here? Marvin was forced to say something which came very hard to him. I don't know, he said, but one moment I was sitting in your ship feeling very depressed, and the next moment I was standing here feeling utterly miserable. Probability filled, I expect. Yeah, said Zaphod. I expect my great-grandfather sent you along to keep me company. Thanks a bundle, Granddad, he added to himself under his breath. So how are you? He said. Oh, fine, said Marvin. If you happen to like being mean, which personally I don't. Yeah, said Zaphod as the elevator doors opened. Hello, said the elevator sweetly. I am to be your elevator for this trip to the floor of your choice. I've been designed by the Sirius Cybernetics Corporation to take you, the visitor, to the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and to these. If you enjoy your ride, which will be swift and pleasurable, then you may care to experience some of the other elevators, which have recently been installed in the offices of the Galactic Tax Department. Booby-Loo Baby Foods and the Syrian State Mental Hospital, where many ex-Sirius Cybernetics Corporation executives will be delighted to welcome your visits. Sympathy and happy tales of the outside world. Yeah, said Zaphod, stepping into it. What else? I go up, said the elevator, or down. Good, said Zaphod. We're going up. Or down, the elevator reminded him. Yeah, okay, up please. There was a moment of silence. Down's very nice, suggested the elevator hopefully. Oh yeah? Super! Good, said Zaphod. Now will you take us up? May I ask you, inquired the elevator in its sweetest, most reasonable voice, if you considered all the possibilities that down might offer you? Zaphod knocked one of his heads against the inside wall. He didn't need this, he thought to himself. This of all things he had no need of. He hadn't asked to be here. If he was asked at this moment where he would like to be, he would probably have said he would like to be lying on the beach with at least 50 beautiful women and a small team of experts working out new ways they could be nice to him, which was his usual reply. To this, he would have added something passionate on the subject of food. One thing he didn't want to be doing was chasing after the man who ruled the universe. He was only doing a job, which he might as well keep doing. And he might as well keep at, because if it wasn't him, it would only be someone else. Most of all, he didn't want to be standing in an office block arguing with an elevator. Like, what other possibilities? He said wearily. Well, the voice trickled in like honey on biscuits. There's the basement, the microfiles, the heating system. It paused. Nothing particularly exciting, it admitted, but they are alternatives. Holy Zarquan, muttered Zaphod. Did I ask for an existential elevator? He beat his fist against the wall. What's the matter with the thing? He spat. It doesn't want to go up, said Marvin. I think it's afraid. Afraid? Cried Zaphod. Of what? Heights? An elevator that's afraid of heights? No, said the elevator miserably. Of the future. The future? Exclaimed Zaphod. What does the wretched thing want? A pension plan? At that moment, a commotion broke out in the reception hall behind them. From the walls around them came the sound of suddenly active machinery. We can all see into the future, whispered the elevator in what sounded like terror. It's part of our programming. Zaphod looked out of the elevator. An agitated crowd had gathered round the elevator area, pointing and shouting. Every elevator in the building was coming down very fast. He ducked back in. Marvin, he said, just get this elevator to go up, will you? We've got to get to Zarniwoop. Why? Asked Marvin, dolefully. I don't know, said Zaphod, but he'd better have a very good reason for me wanting to see him. Modern elevators and complex entities. The ancient electric winch and maximum capacity 8 persons. Jobs bear as much relation to a serious corporation happy vertical people transporter as a packet of mixed nuts does to the entire west wing of the Syrian State Mental Hospital. This is because they operate on the curious principle of defocused temporal perception. In other words, they have the capacity to see dimly into the immediate future, which enables the elevator to be on the right floor to pick you up even before you knew you wanted it, thus eliminating all the tedious chatting, relaxing, and making friends that people were previously forced to do while waiting for elevators. Not unnaturally, many elevators imbued with intelligence and precognition became terribly frustrated with the mindless business of going up and down. Up and commented briefly with the notion of going sideways, as a sort of existential protest, demanded participation in the decision-making process and to squatting in the basement sulking. An impoverished hitchhiker visiting any planets in the Sirius star system these days can pick up easy money working as a counselor for neurotic elevators. At the 15th floor, the elevator door snapped open quickly. 15th, said the elevator, and remember, I'm only doing this because I like your robot. Zaphod and Marvin bundled out of the elevator, which instantly snapped its doors shut and dropped as fast as its mechanism would take it. Zaphod looked around warily. The core was deserted and silent, and gave no clue as to where Zarniwoop might be found. All the doors that led off the corridor were closed and unmarked. They were standing close to the bridge, which led across from one tower of the building. Through a large window, the brilliant sun of Ursa Minor Beta threw blocks of light in which danced small specks of dust. A shadow flitted past momentarily. Left in the lurch by a lift, muttered Zaphod, who was feeling at least his least jaunty. They both stood and looked in both directions. "Know something?" said Zaphod to Marvin. "More than you can possibly imagine. I'm dead certain this building shouldn't be shaking," Zaphod said. It was just a light tremor through the soles of his feet, and another one, and the sunbeams flecks of dust danced more vigorously. Another shadow flitted past. Zaphod looked at the floor. "Either," he said, not very confidently, "they've got some vibro system for toning up your muscles while you work, or..." He walked across the window and suddenly stumbled because, at that moment, his Jujanta 200 superchromatic peril-sensitive sunglasses had turned utterly black. A large shadow flitted past the window with a sharp buzz. Zaphod ripped off his sunglasses, and as he did so, the building shook with a tremendous roar. He leaped to the window. Or, he said, this building's being bombed. Another roar cracked through the building. Who in the galaxy would want to bomb a publishing company? Asked Zaphod, but never heard Marvin's reply because at that moment the building shook with another bomb attack. He tried to stagger back to the elevator. A pointless maneuver, he realized, but the only one he could think of. Suddenly, at the end of the corridor leading at the right angles from this one, he caught sight of a figure as it lunged into view. A man. The man saw him. Beeblebrox, over here, he shouted. Zaphod eyed him with distrust as another bomb blast rocked the building. No, called Zaphod. Beeblebrox, over here, who are you? A friend, shouted back the man. He ran towards Zaphod. Oh yeah, said Zaphod. Anyone's friend in particular or just generally well disposed? The man raced along the corridor, the floor bucking beneath his feet like an excited blanket. He was short, stocky, and weather-beaten, and his clothes looked as if they'd been twice around the galaxy and back with him in them. Do you know, Zaphod shouted in his ear when he arrived, your building's being bombed? The man indicated his awareness. It sunlight glancing around at the window to see why Zaphod gaped as a huge, slug-like, gunmetal green spacecraft crept through the air, past the building. Two more followed it. The government you deserted is out to get you, Zaphod, hissed the man. They've sent a squadron of Frogstar fighters. Frogstar fighters? Muttered Zaphod. Zarquan? You get the picture? What are Frogstar fighters? Zaphod was sure he'd heard someone talk about them when he was president, but he never paid much attention to official matters. The man was pulling him back through a door. He went with him. With a searing whine, a small black spider-like object shot through the air and disappeared down the corridor. What was that? Hissed Zaphod. Frogstar Scout Robot Class A, out looking for you, said the man. Hey, yeah? Get down. From the opposite direction came a larger black, spider-like object. It zapped past them. And that was? A Frogstar Scout Robot Class B, out looking for you. And that, said Zaphod, as the third one slid through the air. A Frogstar Scout Robot Class C, out looking for you. Hey, chuckled Zaphod to himself. Pretty stupid robots, eh? From over the bridge came a massive rumbling hum. A gigantic black shape was moving over it from the opposite tower, the size and shape of a tank. Holy photon, what's that? Breathed Zaphod. A tank, said the man. Frogstar Scout, Robot Class D come to get you? Should we leave? I think we should. Marvin, called Zaphod. What do you want? Marvin rose from a pile of rubble further down the corridor and looked at them. You see that robot coming toward us? Marvin looked at the gigantic black shape edging forward toward them over the bridge. He looked down at his own small metal body. He looked back up at the tank. I suppose you want me to stop it, he said. Yeah. While you save your skins? Yeah, said Zaphod. Get in there. Just so long, said Marvin, as I know where I stand. The man tugged at Zaphod's arm, and Zaphod followed him off down the corridor. A point occurred to him about this. Where are we going? He said. Zarnwhip's office. Is this any time to keep an appointment? Come on. Chapter 7. Marvin stood at the end of the bridge corridor. He was not, in fact, a particularly small robot. The silver body in the dusty sunbeams and shook with the continual barrage which the building was still undergoing. He did, however, look pitifully small as the gigantic blank tank rolled to a halt in front of him. The tank examined him with a probe. The probe withdrew. Marvin stood there. Out of my way, little robot, growled the tank. I'm afraid, said Marvin, that I've been left here to stop you. The probe extended again for a quick recheck. It withdrew again. You stop me? Roared the tank. Go on. No, really, I have, said Marvin simply. What are you armed with? Roared the tank in disbelief. Guess, said Marvin. The tank's engines rumbled, its gears ground. Molecule-sized electronic relays deep in its microbrain flipped backward and forward in consternation. "Guess," said the tank. Zaphod and the as-yet unnamed man lurched up one corridor, down a second, and along a third. The building continued to rock and shudder, and this puzzled Zaphod. If they wanted to blow the building up, why was it taking so long? With difficulty, they reached one of a number of totally anonymous marked doors and heaved at it. With a sudden jolt, it opened, and they fell inside. All this way, thought Zaphod, all this trouble, all this not lying on the beach having a wonderful time, and for what? A single chair, a single desk, and a single dirty ashtray in an undecorated office. The desk, apart from a bit of dancing dust and a single revolutionary new form of paperclip, was empty. "Where," said Zaphod, "is Zarniwoop?" Feeling that his already tenuous gasp of the point of this whole exercise was beginning to slip. "He's on an intergalactic cruise," said the man. Zaphod tried to size the man up. Earnest type, he thought, not a barrel of laughs. He probably apportioned a fair whack of his time to running up and down, heaving down doors, and making cryptic remarks in empty offices. "Let me introduce myself," the man said. "My name is Da, and this is my Tao." "Hello, Rusta," said Zaphod. "Hello, Tao," he added as Rusta held out to him the rather nasty old flowery towel. Not knowing what to do with it, he shook it by the corner. Outside the window, one of the huge, slug-like gunmetal green spaceships scrolled past. "Yes, go on," said Marvin to the huge battle machine. "You'll never guess." Said the machine, vibrating with unaccustomed thought. "Laser beams?" Marvin shook his head solemnly. "No," muttered the machine in its deep, guttural rumble. "Too obvious. Antimatter ray?" it hazarded. "Far too obvious," admonished Marvin. "Yes," grumbled the machine, somewhat abashed. How about an electron ram?" This was new to Marvin. "What's that?" he said. "One of these," said the machine with enthusiasm. From its turret emerged a sharp prong which spat a single lethal blaze of light. Behind Marvin, a wall roared and collapsed as a heap of dust. The dust billowed briefly and settled. "No," said Marvin, "not one of those." "Good, though, isn't it?" "Very good," agreed Marvin. "I know," said Frogstar Battle Machine, after another moment's consideration. "You must have one of those new xanthic restructron destabilized emitters." "Nice," said Marvin. "That's what you've got?" said the machine in considerable awe. "Nope," said Marvin. "Oh," said the machine, disappointed. "Then it must be—" "You're thinking along the wrong line," said Marvin. "You're fit to take into account something fairly basic in the relationship between men and robots." I know," said the battle machine. "Is it—" It trailed off into thought again. "Just think," urged Marvin. "They left me, an ordinary, menial robot, to stop you, a gigantic, heavy-duty battle machine, while they ran off to save themselves. What do you think they would leave me with?" "Oh, muttered the machine in alarm. "Something pretty damn devastating, I should expect." "Expect?" said Marvin. "Oh yes, expect. I'll tell you what they gave me to protect myself with, shall I?" "Yes, all right," said the battle machine, bracing itself. "Nothing," said Marvin. There was a dangerous pause. "Nothing?" roared the battle. "Nothing at all," intoned Marvin dismally. "Not an electronic sausage." The machine heaved about with fury. "Well, doesn't that just take the biscuit?" it roared. "Nothing, eh? Just don't think, do they?" "And me," said Marvin, in a soft, low voice, "with this terrible pain in all the diodes down my left side. Makes you spit, doesn't it?" "Yes," agreed Marvin with feeling. "Hell, that makes me angry," bellowed the machine. "Think I'll smash that wall down." The electron ram stabbed out another searing blaze of light and took out the wall next to the machine. "How do you think I feel?" said Marvin bitterly. "Just ran off and left you, did they?" said the machine, thundered. "Yes," said Marvin. I think I'll shoot down their bloody ceiling as well, raged the tank. It took out the ceiling of the bridge. That's very impressive, murmured Marvin. You ain't seen nothing yet, promised. I can take out this floor too, no trouble. It took out the floor too. Hell's bells, the machine roared as it plummeted 15 stories and smashed itself to bits on the ground below. What a depressingly stupid machine, said Marvin, and trudged away. Well, we're at chapter 8. On that note, we're going to go to our second music break. On this break, we have, once again, Mr. Jeff Hilliard with his ballad, Abandoned. And then we also have Miss Mia Savage with her group Antidote for Savages. And she will be singing The Mirror and Crypto, Your Skeleton, and The Bottom Line. You guys don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this music break.
Left here alone, just a shadow of my erection on the wall. Why won't you answer my calls? I gave you my all with the love we made together.
Read my crypto.
right now between fear and love.
Welcome back, and thanks so much for hanging out with me tonight on Weird Paradox Media's Late Night in the Rockies. So we're at the portion of our show where I share a creepy video with you. And this particular channel is pretty darn epic, I must say. No Way is the name of the channel, and make sure you go there. And this guy does an amazing job. Let's get to it.
What is that?
Oh my god, what is that? Oh my god! What is that?
So I got this watermelon and it's like pinning. I can't believe I got one. Oh my gosh.
This is the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Okay, there's nobody here, right? What is that? Because it is not me.
So you started with this.
Alright, you're good.
¿Qué quieres?
Hi, I'm James and you're watching the Impossible Channel. Welcome aboard. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel with notifications on for more videos like this. Today we're going to be taking a look at the strangest, the creepiest, and the most unexplained videos that are freaking out the entire internet. From the unexplained videos of a young man who supposedly developed superpowers, showed it on the internet, and has now become a viral sensation, to this bizarre phenomenon where people are going to the supermarkets and buying what looks like plastic food. These, and many more creepy and unexplained videos of encounters with cryptids, ghosts, and glitches in the Matrix. Are you guys ready? Well, let's go. For the past few months, there's been an increase in mysterious sightings of objects and strange things in the sky. And even though nowadays most people have a phone camera with them, it's still very rare to capture a good video of whatever these things are.
Oh my god, what is that? Oh my god! What is that?
That's insane.
Mixage, ¿qué é isso?
Acabamos de ver un fenómeno en el cielo y no sabemos qué es.
Algo está sucediendo en el cielo.
Está todo el mundo mirando. ¿Qué es lo que hay ahí?
It's very common to see orbs of light or objects in the distance, and sometimes some sort of anomaly that we can't even begin to explain. But we almost never get to see anything up close. However, in the past few weeks, something odd happened in Iran, something that's been shaking the entire internet.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
On May 25th, 2024, several people in the capital of Iran saw what's supposed to be this bizarre object hovering just above the city. The object was supposedly seen by several people all over Tehran, and this, for instance, is one of the first videos that was uploaded to social media. Check this out.
That is epic.
What appears to be a green luminous object can be seen in the distance. As he zooms in, it becomes quite clear that this is not a chopper nor a plane, it's something else entirely. At first, I was a bit skeptical about it. It looks too much like the ones that we see in movies. But then again, after researching the topic, I came across several videos of people who supposedly caught the same thing on camera that night. Check this out.
Different angles.
Whatever this thing is, it was apparently caught from different angles all over Tehran, and it seems to be emitting some sort of sound. Strange, isn't it? But it doesn't stop there. It was also seen by a woman who was petting her cat and recording a video for social media. Check this out. The same luminous object can be seen, but this time hovering in the distance. Whatever this thing is, it caught the attention of the entire internet. Some believe that the videos are fake or CGI. And this is mostly because in the first video you can see that the zoom in feels artificial. However, in other videos, the zoom in feels quite normal to me. Sure about that one. Other internet users left comments stating that this is possibly the real deal, taking into consideration the amount of sightings of the same object seen from a different angle. There were also others who left comments stating that this is possibly Project Bluebeam or even a drone, which kind of makes sense, but I'm still not sure about this one, so I'll leave it up to you. But when it comes to sightings in the sky, it doesn't stop there. On April 3rd, 2024, a TikTok account by the name of Texas Ghost Hunters caught something really strange on camera. He was recording a beautiful sunset when all of a sudden he noticed a strange pattern in the sky. Check this out. Did you see that? If you look closely, it's as if there's some sort of luminous pattern on the clouds. Almost as if there are hundreds of buildings on top of the cloud reflecting sunlight. So either this is a Fata Morgana, an illusion, or a mirage, or this is something else. Whatever this anomaly is, I've seen anything like it. Strange, isn't it? But it gets even stranger. On September 2022, a father and a son were enjoying a sunny afternoon in Argentina, and all of a sudden they noticed something odd in the sky, something that didn't make sense. This is what they caught on camera.
No sé qué será.
Sky squid thingies. What is it?
This mysterious object stays in the same place, hovering above the neighborhood for quite a few moments, and I guess this is what caught this family's attention.
It's weird.
Ya ves, se va alejando más. Ay. No, no me voy a acercar, no.
After posting the video to the internet, it amassed thousands of views and hundreds of comments. While some believe that this could be just a plastic bag or something like that, many others seem convinced that this is possibly an angel, or a sort of dementor-like entity like a jinn or maybe a ghost. Now I'd say that this could be a plastic bag or something like that, if it weren't for the fact that it remains in the same place for several minutes. I'm guessing that a plastic bag or a balloon wouldn't do that. They would be dragged by the wind or something like that. Not only that, if you pay close attention, it seems to shapeshift in certain moments. So, what is this?
I do not know. Something supernatural.
Now just imagine the following situation. You wake up early one morning and you decide to buy the most delicious watermelon for breakfast. So you go to your local supermarket, the one that you're always used to going, and you pick the one. You go back home and do what anyone would do, and you prepare the watermelon for breakfast. And this is when you realize that there's something wrong with the watermelon. It doesn't look, taste, or feel like food. So trying to understand what's going on, you go back to the supermarket, you get another one, and the same thing happens. Creepy, isn't it? Kinda sounds like something coming out of a horror movie. But what if I told you that for some mysterious reason in the past couple of months, there's been loads of videos trending on social media happening in the United States?
So I got this watermelon and I like to rinse my watermelon before I cut it, and it's like pinning.
In this particular video posted just a couple of days ago by Gabriella Nails Makeup, we can see what looks like the skin of a watermelon peeling off.
Like, does anybody problems with their watermelon like this?
After posting the video to TikTok, it amassed millions of views and loads of people were asking the same question. Is this supposed to happen? While some believe that the watermelon is possibly fake or genetically modified, Others think it's just because it's been frozen at some point, which kinda makes sense and it could be the case. But even if it is, it doesn't stop there.
This is the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Ew.
It sounds like a goat is dying.
I have to say, guys, very disappointed. I did like 12 jars of pickles. Actually more than that, but opened all of them today because I was gonna try some, and it's all what do you call it? Botulized. Like there's botulism in it. They all hissed and overflowed, and it was the saddest thing ever because they were supposed to be the bar, and I don't know why it did that. It's so freaking strange. I washed the cucumbers, I washed the jars. They all botulized. It's very sad, so you'll start all over, square one. But yeah, the way that this watermelon was doing that is grody.
For some mysterious reason, there's been loads of videos of people reporting what looks like fake or rubbery food. And to this moment, there's little to no explanation to what is going on. This, for instance, is a video that was uploaded by Kiva on TikTok. Check this out.
So I cut watermelon for my kids, and they're all bringing it right back, saying they don't like the texture. And I've seen enough videos of people posting rubbery watermelon. I can't believe I got one. I got a rubbery watermelon. The texture, like, you gotta bend it so far before it will break. With the prices, this is like an $8 watermelon. They're not gonna eat it. They won't eat it. They think it tastes, the texture, it's rubber.
Strange, isn't it? But here's where things get even stranger. The deeper I went on the topic and searched for videos and information, the creepier it got. I came across videos of watermelons that supposedly look like plastic. I also came across videos like this one posted by user 74212 on TikTok. Check this out.
Okay, y'all, threw this watermelon out over a week ago. It smelled really good. Bought it from. Cut it open, and it was like plastic. Tasting it was absolutely horrible. I didn't really know what to do with it, so I threw it outside. This is a week later. It looks like mud. What's going on?
Now I did search for an explanation why this is happening, and what I found was an internet user stating that when they aren't ripe and stored improperly and then put into coolers in stores, it jacks the fruit up. That kind of makes sense. But why is it happening with so many people, and why do watermelons look like this after staying for a week in the sun? Creepy, isn't it? But here's where things take a dark turn. It's not just the watermelons.
Wow.
This is a cocktail.
There you go. What the heck?
There's been loads of videos of other types of food, such as avocados, chicken, and others that cut like they're fake. Check this out.
Yeah.
So my mother was showing me that she opened a banana that she thinks that these are not real bananas. We got it from the supermarket, but when she opens it and she breaks it in half, it gets very tough and doesn't really break. And when it pulls, it's like it's glue. It's very tight and doughy. I've never ever seen a banana like that. I don't know if it's just our banana or if it's this brand. But at the end of the day, it looks very, very fake.
First of all, look at this. Regular fish. But look.
Look at the texture.
My finger makes an indent like a sponge. And then I did this.
Squeeze.
Squeeze. I squeeze it as hard as I could, and look, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller.
Looks like a wet napkin.
That's so gross. At all. And then watch this.
Absorbed the water and went back to original shape.
Water, and it reabsorbed everything, and it's normal.
I gave my daughter a bowl of blueberries. I take what's left in her little bowl and I put it down the drain for the garbage disposal. And I push the button, it's doing its thing, but there's a clanking and it sounds like something's stuck. So I go in the drain and there's a blueberry that's not breaking apart. It's not. I pick it up and
ew.
Why is there a rubber blueberry in my toddler's snack? If you can see it that well.
That's terrible.
Glistening. It's silicone. It's a silicone blueberry.
The deeper I went into this topic, the creepier it got. In a video posted by Raquel Martinez 201, she uses a strange method to test the food out before buying it. And what she found is quite shocking. Check this out.
What the heck? Is that a magnet?
Put a magnet that I got from here
Ew.
into the chicken.
That's a freaking Walmart. Oh my gosh.
Let's try. Look at that shit. Not falling.
That's just disgusting.
It's not falling. Watch.
Raquel Martinez sticks a magnet into a chicken breast and the unthinkable happens. It actually sticks. While some believe that there's possibly some form of metal in the chicken, others state that it's just suction from the water and the plastic, which could be the case. But here's the thing, millions of people are already eating fake food in China and many other places. This, for instance, is a video of how they make fake eggs and meat. So I guess that the question that the entire internet is asking themselves right now is, are we eating fake food? Or is there something else going on here? I want to know your thoughts. Have you ever seen anything like this? And do you think that it's possibly fake, or is there a plausible explanation for it?
Freaking disgusting.
Located in Western Canada, the Rocky Mountains are considered one of the most breathtaking natural wonders to visit on Earth. Its beauty and majestic landscape must see for anyone going on vacation. However, there's also something quite sinister about the Rocky Mountains. They've been known to be a hotspot for unknown and strange creatures that lurk in the woods.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
On May 2024, a trucker was picking up equipment near the Sunchild First Nation reservation, and it was really early in the morning, so it was still a bit dark. Moments before the trucker arrived at the station to pick up the equipment, this happens. Pay very close attention. A massive humanoid creature can be seen hiding in the woods as the trucker makes a turn. Whatever this thing is, it's as if it was caught by surprise. It can be seen standing still in hopes of not being spotted. When the trucker makes a stop to load the equipment, he gets out, and I guess that this is when he actually sees it.
When he gets out? What?
Now completely freaked out, he runs back to the truck and gets the heck out of there as fast as possible.
Yeah.
After being uploaded to Sunny Vader YouTube channel, the video went viral. There were many internet users stating that this creature has to be at least 11 feet tall.
It's huge.
Now I'm not exactly sure if this is the real deal or not. What I do know, however, is that if we slow-mo and replay the video for a couple of times, pretty sure that we can see what looks like its eyes shining. Now if this is the case, it could possibly mean that this is the real deal. But when it comes to encounters with unexplained creatures, it doesn't stop there. On October 2022, Dale Hanchar and his wife Colleen were sailing on Okanagan Lake in Canada. It was a beautiful but unusual hot day and everything was as it should. This is when all of a sudden, a friend of theirs, Myrna Germaine Brown, who was sailing along with them, spotted what looked like some sort of monster-like creature sticking its head out of the water. She immediately gets her camera and accidentally snaps a picture instead of recording a video, and this is what she captured on camera.
What the heck? What is that?
At first, it looks as if they caught some sort of bird, maybe ducking inside the water, trying to catch some fish. But then if we zoom in, it actually looks as if we see the creature's eyes and teeth. Needless to say, after they posted the picture to the internet, it went viral, and there were many people saying that this is possibly the Ogopogo, a mythological snake-like monster that supposedly inhabits Okanagan Lake. Now, one could say that this is just pareidolia or a coincidence or maybe even a plastic bag floating in the water, but there are hundreds of supposed sightings of the Ogopogo in Okanagan Lake. So if there is a huge monster-like creature lurking in these waters, it could just be that Dale and Colleen captured it on camera that sunny day. Since the development of technology, humans have begun to question concepts that once sounded completely ludicrous. Say for instance the pen drive. When I was younger, I would never imagine that it would be possible to store books, movies, and music in a single pen drive. Here we are in 2004 and it's not only possible, it can actually store much more. But if we start looking deeper into technology, it actually leads us to a rabbit hole.
What?
For instance, in this particular video, a woman's dogs seem to freeze for more than 5 minutes.
That is weird.
Trying to find an explanation for what was going on, many people coined this a possible glitch in the Matrix. In this next video, a seagull appears to be flashing some sort of electric current. The same thing appears to happen in this next video posted by Samsoph179 on TikTok. These types of unexplained phenomena and many more led several people to speculate that our reality may be glitching for a serious reason. Now, one of the deepest and unspoken rabbit holes of technology is the simulation theory. In 2003, Nick Bostrom suggested that we might be living in some sort of digital simulation created by a higher intelligence.
What the is that?
This is a theory that would sound ludicrous a couple of decades ago, but nowadays, with our growing understanding of computers and how the digital world works, more and more people are starting to accept that there's a possibility that we're living in some sort of digital simulation as seen in certain sci-fi movies. But if this is the case, and we're possibly living in some sort of matrix, and there are possibly Neos out there, there should be video evidence of such a thing, right? Well, maybe there is. Just recently, I came across an Instagram account that's been getting a lot of attention, and the man behind the account states that he can do things you'd only see in sci-fi movies such as the Avatar.
Alright, let's see if I can really push this. Alright.
Alright, you're good.
The man behind the account states that he has the ability to control the 4 elements and that he's been training to do so since he was very.
So I have to tell you, I went to school with this girl, I can't remember her name, but she used to do this in the front yard of the school. It was trippy AF. I didn't think anything like that was possible, and then I witnessed her doing it, and then tried it myself, and I don't know, it actually worked.
Very young. This, for instance, is the first video where he supposedly finds out that he can control the wind, and that it's not just a coincidence. Check this out.
Alright, let's see if I can really push this.
Do it. Come on. Century Stink, keep pissing me off. Come on, Century Stink.
Alright.
It's just that it is.
Yeah! Yeah! Woo!
In this video, he supposedly uses the power of chi to control the wind and create waves on a lake. At first, I was a bit skeptical of it, and so was the entire internet. But then he posted a second video. Check this out.
If you want, can I see this?
Did you see that? If you look closely, as if he's controlling the leaves that he's pointing at. The other leaves are not moving at all. Not only that, when he pulls them, they actually come towards him. What is going on here? After posting the video, it went viral. There were many people leaving comments asking him how is it that he's doing this. But there were others that were still skeptical. So he uploaded another video. Check this out. Strange, isn't it? How is it that he's doing this? Either this is a really big coincidence, or it's the real deal. After posting this video, it got massive attention and most internet users were completely baffled. Some believe that this might be the real deal. Others state that he's using some sort of electric fan or something like that. So he goes on and posts another video, this time a bit different.
Okay, now we begin. One man's trash is seriously an airbender's treasure. Like, seriously.
He says that through meditation and connecting your body to nature, you can harness the power of chi. In this video, he states that he's going to apply the power of chi to improve his strength. Do you see that? He appears to snap a tree and at first, I thought it could be fake. But if we rewind and slow-mo the video, you can clearly see it happening. Not only that, we can hear him snapping the tree. Now, taking into consideration that the strongest human has a punching force of around 10,000 newtons, and that to snap this tree down we would need around 900,000 newtons, it would make it impossible for a human being to actually do this. So, what's going on here? Could it really be that he mastered the power of chi, an ancient knowledge passed on by Tibetan monks for generations? Or is this possibly fake, or just a coincidence? But if it is, how do we explain videos like this one?
That is crazy.
There's no electric fan that would be powerful enough to produce a wind force like this. And it would be too much of a coincidence that every time he records, something like this happens.
Alright, you're good.
So
So you start it with this. You retain it, maintain it with this. Hold it, hold it. Hold it.
What the heck is he doing?
Not to mention the fact that there are many people out there who state to have the same superhuman ability.
What's happening?
But I want to know your thoughts. Do you think that this could be the real deal? And if so, why are most human beings nowadays not capable of such a thing?
Watch TV.
Now, I don't know if you know about this, but around 11 million people work the night shift every single day just in the United States alone. That's a lot of people if you stop to think about it. Many seem to choose this schedule for its seemingly easier pace, higher pay, and lighter traffic. However, there's an eerie aspect to the not often goes unspoken.
What the It's weird.
Hello?
Most people who work at night often report seeing and hearing things that they sometimes can't explain. And I guess that this is sort of what happened with a bus driver in Asunción, Paraguay. On May 2018, a bus driver in Asunción had stopped for his usual coffee break. It was around 2:30 in the morning and everything was as it should. But upon returning to the bus, he noticed something odd, something that he couldn't explain. It was as if there was someone or something trying to turn on the bus engine. In complete disbelief, he gets his camera and begins recording, and this is what he saw.
Make sure your bus is haunted, dude.
Did you see that? As the bus driver goes inside, we can clearly see that there's no one sitting in the driver's seat. Now completely freaked out, the bus driver uploads the video to the internet and it gets massive attention. So much attention that it ended up on several different news stations in Paraguay. While some internet users believe that the video is fake and that there is someone trying to turn the engine on from the engine bay, others believe that it could be the real deal, taking into consideration the amount of strange stories and reports of ghost passengers in trains, buses, and other means of transportation. Strange, isn't it? But when it comes to bizarre encounters and haunted buses, it doesn't stop there. For several decades, the neighborhood of La Campanera in El Salvador has been one of the most dangerous neighborhoods in the country. Since the 90s, gang members have exploited the fact that La Campanera has only one main road in and out, and transformed the neighborhood into a violent stronghold. Little by little, La Campanera became one of the most dangerous neighborhoods in El Salvador, with several people mysteriously vanishing over the years. In 2022, however, La Campanera became once again a safe neighborhood, or at least, so they thought. Because of all of the mysterious disappearances and deaths that had happened in the past, La Campanera became somewhat of a haunted neighborhood, full of strange stories of ghosts and shadow people that supposedly haunt the area.
There's nobody here, right? Nobody here. What is that? Because it is not me. This is me. Leaving the door. What's that? And here comes the door back opening. And nobody's there. But yeah.
And it was while doing an urban exploration that Exploración Urbanas SV captured something chilling on camera.
Miren. Miren. Está encendido, ve. Están encendidos. Se han encendido las luces del bus.
Estará abierta la puerta.
No sé. Está encendida la luz del bus, bichos. Miren, bichos. Miren, bichos. Bichos.
They come across an empty bus with one of its lights on. Intrigued, they go inside to check if there's someone there.
Miren, bichos. Miremos si no hay nadie adentro. Miremos si no hay nadie adentro. ¿Ah? Vaya.
Okay, how they get in there? Por ahí.
Es que cuando vas caminando escucho un ruido adentro.
After taking a quick tour inside the bus, they began feeling as if they were being watched, so they decide to leave. And this is when things take a strange turn. Check this out.
Ah, no mames, güey. Ay, Dios mío.
What? What is... Freaking creepy, that's what that is. No way to do it.
No mames. Miren. Aquí está el cuerpo.
Yeah, I do. Creepy ass freaking shadow person.
¿Qué quieres?
Oh no.
Miren. A la madre, güey.
What appears to be a shadowy humanoid figure can be seen in the distance. Whatever this thing is, it seems to be completely featureless. There's no long before Exploración Urbanas and his buddies realize that whatever this thing is, it might not be human. So they get the heck out of there as fast as possible.
What?
After being uploaded, the video amassed millions of views and thousands of comments, and most people seem to agree that this is possibly a jinn, an entity made out of smokeless fire that in most cases appears to be featureless. Others believe that this could be just a person stalking them around, which in my opinion could be even worse. But if you pay close attention, it's as if this thing doesn't have any legs or feet. It's as if it's just floating there, but I could be wrong. I want to know your take. What do you think is really going on here, and have you ever seen a shadow person yourself?
Yes.
This is it for now, but we do have more videos. Don't forget to check them out, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel with notifications on for more videos like this. If you want to send me creepy videos, thatimpossiblechannel@gmail.com. See you guys.
Oh man. Oh, that was short and sweet. Huh. Oh. Oh my gosh, Jack Black. Creepy videos that don't sit right with me. Mont Tricker, if you haven't seen him, is pretty epic. Watch this guy eat all kinds of food. I don't know if you guys saw that debate. It was wrong grace. What is this? The mind seed. I'm going to try to share this one really quick. I know it's a little over the show, but yeah, I am curious.
Are you tired of dealing with worn out, don't seal, leak, or are hard to open?
I have never seen anything like this in my entire life.
Okay, let's go ahead and share this screen really quick. So we're gonna go a little over time, but yeah, I want to see what this video is about real quickly. Like, if you want, you can hang out. If not, don't worry about it. Boing. There we go. Right. Well, let me mute this really quick. It doesn't actually mute it, but what is that fish?
Can you see that? Can you guys see that?
Oh my gosh, what the hell is that? Hello? Get out of there.
Do you see with your eyes?
It doesn't even show who this is by. I think it's Mine CTV, but I'm not sure.
What the Yes, there is so much weird stuff that I'm about to show you right now. Today, we're diving into some of the most unbelievable phenomenon caught on camera from the US all the way to China. There's weird stuff happening all around the world.
If you guys aren't subscribed to these guys are pretty epic. I've watched a lot of their like paranormal investigations and stuff, and it's kind of like, I don't know, they have some really good footage, but it's hard to know if it's factual or not. What this video is about. Is this going to happen in your city? I sure as hell hope not.
We're talking some really strange sightings, raining fish, lightning with a mind of its own, insane bug infestations on entire place. It's about to get weird. So if you're new to the channel, thanks for joining. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. You guys know the routine, the YouTuber spiel. Hit the bell icon so you get alerted every time I drop cool videos like this. Let's go. You guys know what to do. And if you're not new to the channel, welcome back. Let's jump into today's video. Facebook user Maria Auxiliadora was spending the day by a lake in Nicaragua when she noticed something strange forming above the water. She began to record. She captured this.
That's not a water spout.
My first thought upon seeing this was it's probably a volcano below the lake. However, the way this cloud is forming doesn't seem to align with that theory.
It's like those mosquito clouds that have been happening.
Maria wasn't the only one that witnessed the event either. Many people saw this happening on that same day. After uploading the strange sighting to her Facebook page, many people had a hard time explaining what this could have been. Some other people in the comments section said it could be a water spout, or maybe it's a swarm of bugs or birds.
That's why I was thinking like skeeters.
Without having a definitive answer, it leaves us to wonder, what could this have been? What was happening out there in the water on this lake? Let me know your thoughts on what you believe could have been causing this black mist to appear. In this next video, a girl in Florida captures something similar, except this time it was confirmed to be a bug swarm. This one is seriously nuts. Take a look.
I have never seen anything like this in my entire life.
Did you guys hear like they were actually
Those are all bugs. I thought the restaurant was smoking.
Skeeters.
Those are all bugs. You can't even tell on the video how many there are.
It's not common for Floridians to see this many insects grouping together at once.
There are millions and billions and trillions of bugs here right now.
That's cool.
I cannot believe this. I've literally never seen in my entire life. Like it's pouring rain. It's literally not even raining. These are bugs.
The sighting left the girl totally caught off guard and amazed, while out at the same time.
All of those lines, bugs. Oh my gosh. They're getting closer to me so you can start seeing them more.
And this isn't the only place this has been happening either. Strange large invasions have been happening recently all around the world. On the other side of the country in Nevada around the same time, millions of Mormon crickets started appearing out of nowhere, making news headlines.
Millions of flightless insects known as Mormon crickets have now descended on swaths of Nevada, taking over homes in the city of Elko, Nevada, blanketing roads, even the local hospital. Killing the 2-inch long plump crickets can lead to a smell described as burning flesh. The sheer quantity of insects on the streets now forcing the Nevada Department of Transportation to use plows and warn of slip roads due to the squashed bugs.
Then, at the top of the U.S. in Chicago,
A swarm of these insects you see here are bugging Chicago area residents.
So we're talking thousands and thousands. Oh yeah, everywhere. As soon as you looked out the back door, that's all I could see back here.
millions of bugs began appearing randomly as the crickets in Nevada were making news headlines. And it's not only based in the US. Take a look at this insane footage from the other side of the world in Russia. Millions of locusts swarmed in a way that many have never seen. There are so many of them they almost black out the sky, and it makes you want to hold your breath just watching this video to avoid getting one in your mouth. And I thought my family reunions were crowded. Imagine showing up to that party with a can of bug spray. Okay, I didn't really spray that because I still have to record the rest of this video, and I don't want to die. Many religious people see videos like this and many more I'm going to share with you today as signs of the apocalypse, as the Bible mentions swarms of insects, blood raining from the sky, and many other things that can't be explained, foreshadowing an oncoming doomsday. So what do you think? Could it be creepy signs from above? Global warming? Or is Mother Nature just randomly switching up the pace a bit? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. If you've seen something strange and would like to share it with the rest of the world, be sure to send it to anotherstrangevideo@gmail.com.
Oh shoot. Write that down.
I'm sure many of you have heard by now about the strange behavior and patterns in birds over the last several years.
Hundreds of birds literally falling from the sky into a neighborhood.
Thousands of birds inexplicably dropped out of the sky in the United States.
Thousands of birds acting erratic, some slamming themselves into the ground, others dropping dead from the sky without any explanation or reason why.
Fireworks, the cold weather, even poisoning have all been blamed for the deaths, but the experts remain baffled.
But what about when it's raining fish? In this next clip, a man from Saudi Arabia captures this. Thousands of large fish falling from the clouds, far away from any body of water or ocean. Seriously, who needs a fishing pole when you could just go outside with a bucket next time it rains? Talk about fast food delivery. Bow, there's one fish fillet. Bow, two fish fillet. Bow, three fish fillet. Like easiest fishing you've ever seen in your life. Many people believe this is due to water spouts and tornadoes over the ocean, pulling up fish and hurling them into the city. But how do you explain it happening so far away from water? And this wasn't the only time that something like this was captured. In Australia, something similar happened on a highway. Thousands of fish randomly raining down from above that freaked many people out and left them confused. And while this might have a logical explanation, I think it's safe to say that if you were on your way to the grocery store and thousands of fish started falling around you in the parking lot, it would be pretty odd and leave you scratching your head wondering what the hell is going on. So what do you think caused this? But regardless of how it happened, that's definitely one. In this next clip, a woman in Switzerland captures something bizarre. Take a look. The earth starts spewing waves of dirt and rocks up onto the street.
Look, Mom, it's time. I need to play arcade cabinet. And it's...
Play arcade what card?
Arcade cabinet, and it's 10.
Okay,
exactly.
Well, go ahead.
1001, 1001.
Yeah, I still got it, but go ahead and try it.
But your show's...
Yeah, the other video finished a little early, so I started another one by Minds CTV, and it does crack. Hey, don't be getting in here, Mr. Chonies.
That's... 820. Mom, that's gonna be a while.
Well, dude, can you just try it? Let's see if...
It's at 8:31.
Really? Is the TV off?
No, but that wouldn't be affecting. It's your show, Mom. We know.
Dude, turn the TV off and see what happens. Oh, if you want a game, dude. Anywho's. All right, so I'm gonna go to the main screen here. My freaking Spreaker peeps, man, I'll let you down again. So anyways, I just want to say thank you so much for joining me this evening on We Are Paradox Media's Late Night Rockies on Spreaker. I really appreciate you guys being here. Please tune in again next weekend. We got a lot of good stuff coming up in the future. Another Paranormal Forum. Chris Garcia on the 20th. On the 21st, we have a guy by the name of Chris something. He's going to be talking about Europe. It's going to be super excited about that, but I just want to thank all of my friends out there from KPNL Radio, Facebook, Twitter, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, wherever the heck you're listening, beyond the Omniverse. It's amazing having you. I'm sorry, my Spreaker peeps, like I left you muted again. If you were not able to hear us, which I know you weren't, because I just now saw this from coming back from break, please tune into YouTube, and that way you could see the whole show. But anyways, until next time, 99 love and light. Take care of my news. I will see you back here next week. Same crazy time, same crazy epic place. If you have any ideas as far as shows, any comments, good or bad, anything like that, send me an email to my Gmail, weareparadoxmedia@gmail.com, and I will try my best to do what I can for you. I'm done. All right, maybe that'll help. E-talk, let's keep you going. Okay, let's go back to screen share. And if you guys could, can you just tell me next Saturday, please don't stay up all night? Because, yeah, you could just see it on camera. I am fracking tired, but it was worth it. Got to talk to my brother and a friend of mine, so that was okay. But look at this snap. What the heck is that? I hope that's not a baby line, is it?
Many people were freaked out by this incident. However, mud eruptions is a rare phenomenon that occurs around different parts of the world. Some can be dangerous, like this clip, as large rocks are being hurled high into the air, while others, like this next clip, look creepy but are harmless.
Like mud,
a similar sighting was captured in Australia when a group of hikers heard a strange rumbling sound. They cautiously approached the sound and saw this.
Is it the Bigfoot? Man, the world is going crazy.
A strange volcanic-like eruption coming from the ground, except it wasn't hot lava, it was mud. Scientists have stated that in most cases, the mud that is being pushed up isn't even hot. It's just warm, and it's not really a threat. And you thought your geology class wouldn't come in handy. Who's up for a spontaneous mud spa day? Volcanic rock included. I bet you wouldn't. I would. That kind of looks like it'd be comfortable, for real though. Nice and warm, just mud. Bring the four-wheeler out or something. While the people filming this video were definitely freaked out, no one was injured from the mud. Have you ever encountered one of these in real life? If you have, be sure to let us know, as it's definitely a strange phenomenon that would be cool to see in person.
The Earth is having an eruption.
This next video is absolutely horrifying and freaked a lot of people out. One night, while a man is home relaxing with his family, he captures an electrical orb entering his house, and then it begins to float around the house, pulsating and buzzing.
What's the crack? Roddy? What's happening here?
Most people have no clue that in 2023, the best way to make money on Amazon is not with physical products.
No. Let's go back to China.
While this video clip is absolutely wild and had many people questioning the authenticity of it, it's a really good thing that no one got close to the.
Okay, so this reminds me of something that happened when I think I was like 4 or 5. This creepy ass house we lived in Silent Springs. So many different paranormal things were seen there. Like I said, I've seen paranormal shenanigans. But there was a thunderstorm, knocked the power out. We're sitting in the circle, telling ghost stories, different things like that. And all of a sudden I look out and I see, so there's this power pole, so a T, power pole, And in the middle of it is a ball of fire. Maybe it's electricity. It wasn't blue like that. It was like a reddish fire color. And it flung to her house, like smack on the front porch, came up through the floor. My mom's like holding my mouth, so I will shut the F up. And then it moves over here. My brother, I think it was Greg, could have been Gary. Probably Gary because he was the eldest, but he was back in the laundry room getting the laundry out of the dryer so things wouldn't wrinkle. And as he came out of the laundry room, that ball of fire shot down towards it, splattered on it, went out the back wall, a brick wall. Our house was made of bricks, and we never saw it again. But that was intelligent ass electrical shit. Some people call it some Elmo's fireball. I don't know. That thing was a trippy. But yeah, it was like a flaming ball. The only other time I saw something like that was an alien orb, is what I like to call it. Then I think it's like their little probes, or what do you call those? Anywho, yeah, trippy.
The orb in this house, as it could have ended really badly.
Yeah. Totally reminds me of that. That's the way it was flying around.
Yeah, just another regular day. Baby eating in the high top, lightning storm outside, 5 feet away, window wide open. Come on in. I wonder if their electric bill went up though from that. Seriously. You think it like ran the meter? These orbs are extremely rare but can be extremely dangerous. Have you ever heard of ball lightning? Apparently there's these strange orbs that can come down occasionally after lightning strikes, and it can linger for several minutes, shocking anything that comes in its path. Here's a few more documented videos that I found of this strange occurrence.
Was not real.
In this clip, a lightning ball is captured crossing over some train tracks and even zapping an electrical pole as it passes by.
Let me know in the comments.
As it moves by slowly, it glows a bluish hue and floats towards the nearby woods. Eventually, it evaporates and disappears into thin air. But you have to admit, it's such an awesome and cool phenomenon to look at. Then there's this clip. A man captured something on his door ring cam that he believed to be ball lightning hovering around his front yard after a severe lightning storm. It goes back and forth a few times, almost as if looking for somewhere to go, then into the distance. Get it? It bolts off because lightning
bolts off.
And... All right,
Yeah, you're funny.
never mind.
All right,
back to the
Nancy,
video.
let's go.
So what do you think? Was the ball lightning entering the man's home legit?
Lightning
What would you do if something like this came floating through your window one day after a storm?
Isn't it weird? Like, you know, you think it'd like fly through the furniture and shit. Like, it intelligently moves around. This thing is intelligent.
Out in the vast stretches of a Chinese desert, a group of curious onlookers captured a scene as mesmerizing as it is eerie.
See, get the fuck out of there. You're about to get struck by lightning.
As the camera rolls, we see a couple of women standing amidst the arid landscape.
Freaking me out.
But it's not the parched ground that draws our attention. Hair of these women, defying gravity, strands rising and crackling with static, reaching upwards towards the sky. As we watch, puzzled and captivated, the air fills with a soft crackling sound. A precursor to a phenomenon that's as cool as it is potentially dangerous. This isn't just a quirky trick of nature, it's a stark warning. Such electric displays can often precede something far more menacing: the sudden and fierce arrival of a lightning strike. Static electricity in such a dry environment might sound like a rare show of nature's quirky side, but it carries a warning: the threat of imminent lightning.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you don't want to get hit by that.
It leaves us wondering, when the air around you begins to crackle, what are the chances you're standing right where a storm wants to strike?
Pretty cool.
So what do you think? Is this merely a natural spectacle, or could it be a sign of the desert? Drop your thoughts down.
And the lightning strikes.
In the shadowy depths of night, deep within North Carolina's Brown Mountains, a couple sets out with a camera and a mission.
State, I saw stuff like
Oh
this.
my god! Oh my god! This one's huge. This one's huge.
All right, we're live. Go ahead and say what we're doing.
They're live streaming to a curious audience, hunting for the legendary ghost lights, mysterious glowing orbs reported by many, but understood by few.
For hundreds of years, mysterious lights have appeared on Brown Mountain, North Carolina.
This home video shot from 3.5 miles away. Brown Mountain lights are flashing and dancing.
As night sets in, their camera suddenly catches a glimpse of something truly startling.
UFOs? Like, what do you think
Those are city lights.
Because to me,
Oh,
that's
wow.
pretty damn ass trippy.
Oh wow! This is great. This is perfect for this.
Two faint lights flicker in the distance, nestled among the ancient trees.
Holy moly!
I'm a live streaming here. Give me the headlamp and your phone.
The couple, gripped by excitement, points their flashlights towards these ghostly apparitions.
So right now we're just scanning the mountains and the ridges over here.
Let's try to shoot a beam down into the gorge.
Okay.
See if we get a.
Yeah, see if we could get like a response. I don't know. I was gonna try to signal and see if something would happen. See if there's like a response.
Give it a shot.
And that's when the night takes an unexpected turn. The orbs don't fade away. Instead, they begin to react.
You got a good one?
I got one in the floating. I have one floating above a mountain. Do you see it with your eyes? Do you see it with your eyes? It's red.
They start to rise, slowly, almost purposefully, ascending into the dark sky above. And what once appeared to be a ghostly orb now appears to be more UFO-like.
Oh my god! They're rising. They're rising in the air.
The couple watches breathless as the lights climb higher and higher, leaving them to wonder.
Can you guys see that? Do you see that ball of light just rising above the mountain?
Just see, there's 3 of them.
Look at them.
They're just hovering. This is the craziest thing. I didn't expect anything like this at all. The 4th one's rising up from the forest right now. You've got the 2 bright ones, one on top of the other.
They're like lined up. Just rising in the sky.
This is not what I expected. I expected ghost lights in the woods.
Were these really the ghost lights of Brown Mountain? Or had they stumbled upon a sight even more extraordinary? Perhaps a visitation not from our past, but from a world beyond. So what's your take on this eerie encounter? Did they stumble across the famous ghost lights? Or a glimpse of visitors from the stars? Share your theories in the comments down below. In the quiet of night, something extraordinary and unsettling paints the sky.
我是不是眼睛出问题了？啊？
Caligula, what?
Across towns in China, citizens look up to find not the familiar dark expanse they're used to, but an ominous glowing that blankets everything in an eerie hue.
The only time I ever saw
The
that was
streets
in
buzz with
Arkansas.
whispers and fear as cameras roll, capturing this bizarre spectacle. A blood-red sky glowing in the middle of the night, something that feels almost otherworldly. As the phenomenon lights up social media with theories and fears, the official explanation arrives. News reports claim it's nothing more than a fishing boat, a bright red light magnified by a dense fog at the
lighting up the
port.
whole damn
But for those
sky,
who
huh?
saw it, questions remain. Was this truly just a case of lights playing tricks? Or could there be something more hidden behind the veil of fog? A story concocted to distract us from something more secretive. Perhaps even a government experiment gone into the public eye. What really turned the night sky red over China? Was it merely the work of a fishing boat, or is there a deeper, darker layer to the story waiting to be uncovered? What do you think? Your thoughts down below.
I don't know. I'm not sure what that is. What is that?
Then, in parts of Iran, on a cloudy day, people were caught off guard when they realized the rain was actually falling from the sky the color red.
What the fuck? I'm sorry.
Many people believe this to be a biblical prophecy. However, scientists later revealed they believed it to be caused by green algae in the air mixing with the rain. While there has been an explanation given, it is still a very rare occurrence that left people in awe.
What is it? What is the explanation? I would like to know.
What would you do if you realized the sky was raining what appeared to be blood, and your neighborhood streets looked like this? Pretty creepy.
So yeah, that is very creepy because the only time I've ever seen red water is because of algae. We actually had that here at Navajo Lake. But what the crack is this? I've never heard of red rain. Why is it raining red? What the hell is that?
EVE Online is a vast universe.
A pilot flying at night notices something strange glowing red in the middle of the ocean. He was so perplexed he decided to film the event, and this is what he captured. The sighting sent people online and in the news into frenzies.
A mysterious red glow captured by a pilot flying over the Pacific Ocean has sent the internet into a spin. Some watchers have suggested it was proof of alien life.
Some people believed it was proof of alien life hiding underwater. Others believed it was possibly a volcano underwater erupting. Pilots are known to get a first-hand view of many spectacular things that most of us down here on the ground don't get to see, from UFOs to severe weather sightings. In this case, that's exactly what happened. So what do you think these strange glowing lights in the middle of the sea could have been?
I don't know, it's freaky-ass cricket. What? Oh, wow. It decided to turn red, too. Okay.
So I just want to take a moment to say that I hope that you're enjoying this video. If you are, before we jump into this last clip, hit that like button down below, leave a comment, let me know what you think, and check this out.
Yeah.
In this next strange video captured by a YouTube user, a man was out walking with his dog through the snow, checking out a frozen lake when he came across this.
Oh, I've seen this before. This is freaking and gross at the same time. What the crap is that? Once it gets closer, you'll see it. Like it looks like a heart beating under the freaking mud. It's so gross. What the hell is that? What is it?
A strange pulsing object just below the surface of the melted patch of ice.
What the? That's what I'm saying.
Many people online believe that this was some sort of giant creature like a dragon opening its eye under the ice. But others commented that this is a strange phenomenon that occurs with colored mud as the temperature changes under the frozen lakes. If that is a dragon, where the hell is Khaleesi at? Because you know as well as I know that that little Targaryen chick was hot. She could Drakari on me all day. Drakaris. Either way, the man filming the footage had no idea what he was recording when he uploaded the video titled, "What the hell is this?" So what was your initial thought when seeing this strange phenomenon?
It's obviously freaking hot. Like, what the crap?
Did you think it was some sort of strange living creature under the ice? Or just some mud? I look forward to hearing your response down below. Alright, now for the fun part, the video breakdown of the day, where I get to pick 3 of my top favorites from all these clips that I just showed you and just talk about them a little bit more in depth because fascinating. So my first clip out of all these videos would definitely have to be the lightning orb. Now, I don't know how real or not this video is. I mean, it looks pretty real looking at the footage. There's like crackling sounds. You could see it just come in the house through the curtain. The curtain kind of moves as it goes around the corner towards the glass door. You hear like a bam noise, kind of like it just runs into the glass. Now, don't tell me that ball lightning doesn't make that sound when it hits a glass door, because when's the last time that you had ball lightning in your house? Exactly. Never. But everybody online is an expert on everything, right? It looks pretty real to me. That's all I'm saying. And imagining that happening in my own house, like just this electric orb floating around, zapping everything that comes in its path, it's horrifying. The sound alone is like death. The crackling static sound of this thing is saying, touch me and I will F you up.
Why is it not just going through it?
My second pick for the coolest out of all these clips would probably be the fish raining from the sky. I know, it's just fish. And you're thinking to yourself, well, that's not that crazy, is it? Yeah. Like, when's the last time you went to the grocery store, your like supermarket to your house, and there was just like 1-foot fish falling on the cars around you? Like, has that ever happened to you in your life? No, it hasn't happened to me either. Well, maybe it's happened to someone that was in one of these clips or something, if you're watching this
that is
video.
so gross.
But
And they're
for
saying,
most
like,
of
the roads are
us,
slippery because
we don't
of
ever get to
these
experience
freaking
something like that. And if we
crickets.
did, I
What
think
about
it would
this?
seem
Could you
strange,
imagine how
especially if
slippery
I
the fucking
looked
road
up,
would be from
like the
this?
first thing I would think is like an
So
eagle's
freaking
flying
weird,
by and it
man.
probably dropped the fish. But like seeing 50, 100, 1,000 fish falling around me,
Thousands.
and looking up and not seeing any birds, that's when I would be like, all right, the world is gone, things are upside down, there's something definitely wrong here, what is happening? And I think that that's what people who filmed this video felt at the time, and maybe we can't really feel it as much watching it through our phones and sitting in the comfort of our own homes, but if you were there, I think it would be a little bit different. And the third most interesting out of all these clips to me would probably be the locusts, all right? Now, I know that there has been swarms of locusts like this that have made it on the news and people have recorded clips of like bug infestations, but I mean, some of the clips, even like the crickets, besides the locusts, the way that they were all over the streets, covering people's houses. Like the streets were so full of crickets that like when you're driving, they're just spitting up everywhere.
Yeah, and then he said, like, when you squish them or run over them, it smells like burning flesh. What? Ew. No.
There's so much cricket sludge. Your tires could literally sit in it. Like, that's crazy to me. And then seeing them all over these people's houses, I mean, I've had like some ants in the backyard and, you know, there's been a lot of gnats in Florida and mosquitoes and shit like that, but to see something completely taking your house, your neighbor's house, the street, that's like a horror movie in real life, honestly. But the locusts, like, all right, I have to laugh about this because these guys are nuts. Like, these dudes were just going insane out there. I think these are just Russians. They're like, F it. Let's just go run out there with a big ass butterfly net and a bucket, and they're like in the middle of just a sandstorm of locusts, like hitting them in the face and slapping them and getting in their mouth and hitting them in their eyes, and they're just f***ing out there flailing around like madmen. And honestly, it kind of looked fun, I'm not gonna lie, but that's a lot of locusts. Never seen that many in one video or in one place in my life. That literally was insane. Let me know what your top 3 were in today's video, and I will catch you guys next time. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you later. Oh
man, I cut him off. Anyways, thanks, MindCTV. Like, it was freaking epic. Generally, I'm used to seeing them do paranormal investigations, but they're out now they're doing quick ask videos, and that was pretty damn cool. So I hope you guys enjoyed story time tonight with me, TessaTNT, as well as James from that unbelievable channel and MindCTV. Make sure you subscribe to both of those. So that's impossible in MindCTV. Make sure you go to those. Please subscribe. It's super epic. Once again, thank you to all of my friends on We Are Paradox Media's Facebook, K2Now Radio, Twitter, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, wherever you may be listening beyond the Omniverse tonight. I had a wonderful time. Can't wait to do it again this coming weekend. Hopefully I can scrounge up something good for you guys. Otherwise, we're going to be doing some awesome walks and stuff like that, and then story time and another creepy ass video. Don't forget, we're all in this together. Together, we can make the world a bit better. And together, my friends, we are Paradox Media, because without you, there is no us. Until next time, nighty night, love and light. Take care, my news. Please don't work too hard this week, and please don't take life so seriously. Why so serious, son? But I'll see you back here, same crazy time, same crazy place. Night night, love and light. Take care, my news. Bye. Bye.